And
field is perfectly
we
blocking my
are
alley.
live.
Hey.
Sorry, your virtual backhand.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm sending you all the loot that we got
Oh,
so you can
God.
read through it when you're ready.
Oh god, the veil has been shattered.
I was showing off my figurines I put up.
How are all of you?
Fixing previous stupidity.
Better now that I have internet. Oh my god, I can stream Twitch the same time now. So many things I can do now.
And there's no delay in conversation anymore.
No, there isn't. Now if I talk over you, I'm just being a bitch.
Well, at least now we know.
Well, you shouldn't have said that.
We know. We know.
Oh,
Yay.
yay. I guess this also means Mass Effect is coming back soon.
It is, yes. It's probably coming back in the next 2 weeks. Because next week I'm gonna be gone, so that following Monday I think I'm bringing it back. So we'll be good. We also have a new show starting up here soon, so we're bringing things back into rotation here.
Speaking of bringing things back, we bringing back Behold Lore.
Yes, actually, I want to bring that back. So
Good,
let's
so do
plan
I.
for September 1st.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I can make that work.
Plus, I kind of like I kind of liked that it was a year on and year off, because now we have more content that has built up now over time for us to talk about.
Yep.
I kind of like that. So, not sure if we'll keep that as an actual thing, because just a lot happened last year. But you know, we have a lot more now to talk about.
I'm not a fan that I fleshed out another campaign between all the breaks that we've had.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! What's the theme for this one?
I don't want to talk about it because I'm going to want to play it.
That's fair.
Well, if Murica decides to extend the week to 8 days, as they are thinking about doing, I may have more time for D&D now.
What are they going to have? Monday too?
No, they're thinking of extending the year, so we have 8-day weeks.
They're also talking about making the work week only 4 days.
Well, that's the thing. One of two things is happening. They're either making the workday 4 days and we get 3-day weekends, but that means more than likely it's going to be 10-40 days. Or they extend it by 1 week or by 1 day, so we still work 5 days, but still have a 3-day weekend.
How do you?
I have a concern about that. By adding it,
how do you just calendar?
Yeah, how do you just alter the Earth's rotation?
I think they're gonna.
Who's gonna know lose a few hours of darkness? Okay.
Look.
I'm just telling you what I've heard.
Look, America already refuses to use the metric system. We don't need a whole nother calendar.
Can you imagine how confusing it will be? Because the days will never line up with any other country.
Exactly.
But
we have to be special, okay?
We'll have Fahrenheit dates and Celsius dates.
But we kept wishing for more days so we can play D&D. Guys, this is the solution.
Look,
that is not the solution. That is the worst solution.
Yeah, I mean,
scientists to deal with.
As somebody that spent a great deal of time researching calendars while making our calendar, there are very specific astronomical reasons why the week is 7 days. You can't just add another day onto that.
I'm just a question for the scientists, my good sir. I'm just telling you what I heard.
I don't know. Listen, not to throw shade, but it's the United States of America. I don't think science is involved in this one.
Look, you know what?
100% fair.
You know what? As an American, I can't be upset by that because you're probably right.
Yeah.
You're probably right. You know, science was probably just disregarded, and you know they decided that we control the rotation of the Earth.
Yep.
And then my only problem with the 410s is, I don't know about other states, but in the state of Washington, your kids are only allowed to be in daycare for 10 hours. So if you work 10 hours, how do you pick up your damn kids?
They're going to have to adjust it.
They would have to adjust it. As well as store hours would have to be open later too.
Yep.
I mean, technically you can take 365 days and divide it by 8 and get that. But I
the
just
days
don't
are shorter
see...
then.
No, not necessarily. You just have fewer weeks in your year. Instead of 52, you have whatever the math is. Where's J Meister when you?
But that's not actually getting any extra days. It's just the same number of days divided up differently.
Okay.
Somebody says science.
If we cut the pie into squares instead of into triangles.
So aside from how poor America is at science, we have a bit of a little double incentive thing going on right now for all Extra Life donations for the month of August, as it is tabletop month. So any Extra Life donation incentives, thank you, Fox, that we receive, it will actually do a double payout. So if you donate $5 and gift a player a health potion, you can gift 2 separate players a health potion, or 1 player 2 health potions. Don't give it to Zoro because it will never get used. Or if you really want to be evil and generous, you were to donate $100, you can make 2 people draw from the deck of many things, or you can make 1 person draw twice, which I'm looking forward to.
I think we still have dice bags for $100 donations.
Is that true?
As far as I know, I don't know if they're unpacked.
As long as Siva lives, we have dice bags.
Okay. But just as a caveat, to that, you only get 1 dice bag for the $100 donation.
Yeah.
But the last time we were together, a bit of unforeseen circumstances seemed to just happen. The group found their way outside of the jungle, leaving Jenka and Cannonball back about an hour distance apart, as the 2 of them stepped aside to have a bit of captain and first mate conversation. The rest of the group trudged through the forest for a couple hours, through a conveniently carved path left by both Fluffy and Shax to get you out of the forest quicker. Once you were out of the forest, you were easily able to spot the ring fort that had been taken over by the lizardmen and haphazardly thrown together with a bunch of sharp sticks and walls in order to keep intruders out. Though the entire time you were walking along thinking up your plans as to how you were going to infiltrate said structure, it became very apparent that the fort was very quiet, almost as if nobody was home. And then somebody exited out, took a couple steps and fell over and just kind of exploded into a puff of dehydrated flesh. As you began to investigate the ring fort, you began to find more of these dehydrated bodies. Other bodies that had been torn apart as if they were in a sandstorm, others that were encased in solid sandstone. Even at one point, a torrent of wind seemingly ripping every treasure-like object from the ring fort into the center of the fort itself. Upon reaching the center of the fort, you came across a rather tall gentleman. Gray skin, long white hair, a matching beard, a pair of long gray horns extending from his forehead, holding the skull of what appeared to be another lizardman. After you got his attention, he crushed said skull, and you had a bit of a conversation with him. He was Shax's father, seemingly now free of the lamp and enacting his revenge on the lizardmen after they made their 3rd wish. A bit of a back and forth happened, and there was an agreement made between Shara and the gentleman that if all Shara would have to do is wish him free, and Shara would gain his favor. There was a bit, and you would get all the treasure that he had collected, which was the big selling point here. So after a brief conversation as to if you could trust him or not, Shara made the wish, set him free, and he promptly left heading to the jungle that you had just come from to exact his revenge. While this was going on, or I should say after this happened, you were all just standing about the fort, counting your treasure, talking about how cool this place would be as a home base. And a deed appeared in Shara's hand, giving her ownership of not only the ring fort, but the beach behind it. And there you sat with your treasure, awaiting the arrival of your two companions. Speaking of said companions, Jenka and Cannonball, you had stepped away from the remainder or from the rest of the group as they made ready to leave for the Lizardman camp. Jenka mentioning that she had some things she needed to talk to Cannonball about. So to give a little bit of perspective and role play, as so we just don't, say it happened, I'm gonna let you two play that out. So when this happens, it's briefly daybreak. Cannonball had previously mentioned the deal that he had made with Shax and the situation that was now at hand about retrieving the lamp that was currently in possession by the Lizardmen.
Hey.
Had I mentioned the deal to her yet?
What's that?
Had I actually mentioned the deal to her yet?
I said that Cannonball mentioned it to everybody in the morning. That way everybody knew what was going on since you weren't here.
Got you.
So I kind of took Cannonball and threw him under the proverbial bus.
I'd also like to mention that the I wish part rung out through the entire cave.
This is true.
So we knew you did something.
Yeah, we knew about that part.
Acceptable.
But the two of you have the floor.
Jenka will definitely call Cannonball over, since there's not really like a huge place for them to have privacy other than maybe the cave or off in the distance while everyone else is kind of walking away. But she will look over at Cannonball and be like, Cannonball, can you stay behind with me for a moment while the others go ahead?
Aye, Captain.
Oh, good. So I'm still your captain. Am I?
What's this about, Captain?
So you didn't want to talk to at least the group, let alone me, about this plan to just go off and kill the lizard folk leader?
The plan was not to kill the lizard folk leader, Captain. It was to retrieve a lamp in the lizard folk camp.
So what, you were just going to volunteer us to go?
I never volunteered anyone, Captain.
Seems like a lot of people are just making deals all willy-nilly. No one wants to discuss the consequences?
He's gonna look at Jenka straight in the eyes, and he's gonna say, "It would seem so, Captain." And he's gonna look at her bandaged arm.
Do you have something you need to say?
Clearly you do, Captain. I'm listening.
All right, you want to talk about the eye in your chest?
He's gonna open his shirt. What eye, Captain?
Yes, well, I'm sure you've done something else to get rid of it, but we all saw it.
Again, Captain, I'm
not telling you you have to tell me anything. But the thing is, I'm not here to pry people's secrets or anything. If you have secrets, I don't care. Keep them. I'm not trying to get anything out of you. But you're trying to point something mundane out when it has nothing to do with the fact that you decided to just volunteer to go do something, whether that's us or by yourself. You're just gonna leave or you tell plan?
Captain. I've never faltered in my duties. I've upheld morale of the crew. I've taken care of everybody as per my job as second mate. What I do on my downtime and my personal time, no offense, Captain, as ye said yourself, is no one else's business but mine own.
So if we woke up in the morning, you would have been gone, or you would have told us what's going on?
Captain, if I must be detailed about said deal I just made, the deal was to be done with this as soon as humanly possible.
So you were going to leave in the morning?
Nay, matey, I said as soon as humanly possible. My duties as first mate come first.
Really?
Let me ask you this honestly, matey.
Pay no mind to my animal companion. Keep going.
Let me ask you this, Captain. Can you name even one moment, once, where I've failed my duties as first mate of this ship?
Technically, I've only been captain for like 3 days. So...
But you've been with us since we've boarded. Have I once failed my duties as first mate of this ship?
Just because I've known you for 1 or 2 weeks does not mean I know you as a whole person.
You're avoiding the question, Captain. Have I once, during those 2 weeks that we've been on board this ship, failed my duties as first mate of our ship?
It doesn't help that both you and my child are yelling at me at the same time.
Double team.
Stop yelling at me! And you're dropping all my dice everywhere. Cool, kid. No. If you want a straight answer, no. But again, I don't know you as a whole for the person.
Sorry, child is like...
It's okay, it's her bedtime after this conversation. Anyway, you're distracting mommy. She's just gonna kind of narrow her eyes at Cannonball. And she's gonna be like, you know what? She's gonna look at Cannonball and be like, you know what? You're right. This isn't the right conversation to have at the moment. Guess we'll find out once I get to know the crew better.
Appreciate it, Captain. Now, if I may say one thing. Well, 2 things. First of all, as first mate of the ship, I do have your back. Second of all, Captain, if everything goes as planned, which, let's be real, Captain, nothing ever goes as planned, but if everything goes as planned, we stand to profit both of this opportunity and its potential fallout.
How so?
Well, my understanding, at the very least, be
You're trying to have a serious conversation. And child's like, attention!
Look,
Give me attention!
I understand. Toddlers.
It's okay. Like I said, it's her bedtime right after this conversation.
Sorry about the slight interruptions. So as I was saying, well, from what I understand, mateys, this propensity this creature has for wishes, would classify it as, well, some form of wish-granting genie, djinn, whatever people call them these days. Having these creatures indebted to you usually leads to boons of sorts. Now, I may have cashed mine in early, but it changes nothing that there may or may not be rewards for the rest of the crew, should we accomplish what this creature wants us to do.
And you think it would just give us wishes because it was grateful for us?
Nay, matey, I think deals be brokered, and the powers that be usually are quite stern about ensuring that beings with, well, such power honor deals when they are brokered. You know what I mean. Cannonball seems like distracted for half a sec as he kind of looks around a little bit here before looking back at Jenka, and he says, well, Captain, look, long story short, I think we stand to profit from this. And me knows to profit. It's rarely wrong.
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Except for the temple thing. That was a fluke.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole different can of worms in itself, but depending on what comes of that, may have to talk to Shara, but that's not really Shara's fault. That was just weird.
Aye.
And maybe poor judge of character.
Second thing, Captain. As long as I remain first mate of this ship, I follow the code. There will be no mutiny from me.
As you say.
Aye, as I do.
Did you roll a d20? What'd you get? What'd you get? Oh, you rolled a 2. Never mind. She'll nod and just keep staring at him for a moment before just kind of nodding again and go, all right, let's catch up with the others.
I look forward to getting to know you too, Captain. And on that, he'll walk off, following the others.
Okay. So, as you're about an hour behind, there's a moment that you and Janka are walking across this grassland when you see just a large amount of storm clouds just instantly rush in from all directions. The wind slowly picking up as an individual can be seen exiting the encampment by aerial means. A bit of a tornado encompassing his lower half as he begins to streak towards the jungle itself. You can't really hear, you can see that he's shouting something, but with the wind and everything, with the noise that it's making, you can't make out what it is. But in a flash, the jungle itself becomes a target of a torrent of lightning bolts and tornadoes as it begins ripping the jungle asunder. Every now and then you see giant bodies being flung out in various directions. And in about 10 minutes, what was once a very lush jungle is now an uprooted wasteland. And as fast as he got there, he is gone.
Well,
What the hell just happened?
Looked like Karma caught up with it somehow.
You mean from our host?
I mean, our host seems to have angered something of the divine. That's divine intervention if I've ever seen one.
Well, I don't fully understand this force to begin with, so who's to say it's not something else that caused that in this forest?
Well, if that's the case, it's strong enough to be of the divine, and it's not something I want to mess with. I'll be honest, Captain, I think checking on the crew right now should be more of a priority than figuring this out.
I was just gonna say, if they were caught in this direction, we need to find them now.
I guess that means onward to the lizardmen camp.
At the start.
Aye, matey. I mean, Captain, right behind you.
Okay, and about an hour passes and you're able to catch up into the fort itself, finding it eerily empty. But you make your way through the three layers of this ring fort, and you come to your group members sitting there, seemingly dropping the last bit of treasure into the bag of holding, which the crab is in. And as that final coin sort of just like falls into the bag itself begins to vibrate a bit. And it transforms from just a basic bag into a satchel.
As Cannonball enters, right, that room, seeing the last coin drop and the crab grow, he'll grin and hold back a comment about fattening the crab for soup, and instead walk up. Please tell me Shara's like sitting on the throne of this goddamn fort or something to that effect.
There is no throne. It like everything up there was destroyed. Like the canopy tent that the leader of the lizardmen had set up had been torn asunder, and all that was in there was a pile of treasure. Yeah,
okay,
it's
really in it. She is standing there looking very proud of herself.
So yeah, no, Cannonball will definitely look around here and then probably pick up on that and say,
"Well, you guys cleaned house quite quickly. And don't you look mighty happy, Charlotte? Care to fill me in?"
Well, nice of you to join us after the, ruckus has died down a bit. But we found a lamp and made a friend and got a real big payday.
Is this a safe place to eat? Is this a safe place for us to discuss this right now?
Oh yeah, this is fine. This place belongs to us now.
What?
Cannonball's gonna like literally just walk up to Shara, give Shara like a big slap on the back, pull out his flask, and says, "Well, I'll say a toast to a payday." And he'll start handing the flask around to those who do want to take a quick toast.
And how did we acquire this payday?
Okay, so we were here to find the lamp or whatever for you, right?
Yes.
And we were given the very strict instructions to not rub the lamp. Okay, well, we started off by ignoring those instructions and we rubbed the lamp.
What?
Because, we had a conversation with the guy that was in the lamp before we touched the lamp, and he's like, "Hey, my son, the guy that sent you over here to do this, he's a real asshole, and I want to go deal with him. He trapped me in here. Could you, rub the lamp and then wish for me to be free?" And we were like, "Yeah, okay, that sounds good." So we did that, and then he gave us the big pile of treasure that was here. And then he went off and destroyed a whole portion of this island or something. I don't know. I kind of stopped paying attention to that part. I was too concerned with the treasure. And as we were sorting through the treasure, I was like, kind of sucks that there's no filing cabinet or something that I could just like steal the deed out of. And then I don't know, I guess it was the guy that we freed. He like made a bunch of like sand whoosh around the area, and then suddenly I had the deed in my hand with my name on it. So this place is ours now. We have a whole pile of treasure, bunch of magical shit, and all our problems are solved.
So I'm pretty sure Shanks is dead now.
Oh yeah, that's a probability.
Well, that's a thorn out of me side on top of it. Get the shit of Shara.
Slap on the back again.
It actually includes the beach there too. So we actually have a place to put a ship.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
so
needs
we
a
should
little
go back
work,
and get
but-
the ship. I mean, the ships. I mean, the ship.
Ships. We have more than one.
I won't count mine chickens before they be hatching, but it be a possibility.
You bought a ship? Maybe? You have you
More
you have an
like-
offer on a ship.
Hey,
Or he stole it.
nay. What you take me for, matey? A pirate? Nay.
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean, yes, a little bit, but you know, that's beside the point. Nay. How do I explain this? Let's just say I used a favor to get rid of a favor that somehow fixed another favor that potentially may or may not result in me getting a ship. Maybe. Well, us getting an extra ship. You know what I mean.
Sounds awfully complicated.
Oh,
As things often are with the Eldritch. Sorry, Peril. You were saying.
Cannonball. I took the liberty. I've got a detailed list of everything here since you weren't here to do that. So
I appreciate that. Always do, matey. Thank you.
And as always, Captain gets their first pick, so when you're ready, you get to go through the stuff.
She is stuck with Babu right now.
I know.
Well, I have to say this place be quite cozy.
Yeah, I mean,
probably
I was,
should be cleaned up a little. The dead bodies first.
no, they're gone.
yeah,
Oh, that's right.
They were
I
flung
forgot
out of.
I didn't see none coming in.
Yeah, I was thinking, since we're not all that far from the possums, next time we find our way over in their neck of the woods, or I guess like no longer woods, but you know what I mean. We could just like throw some money their way and be like, hey, we own a bit of property up north. You want to go fix it up for us?
Well, that's a good idea.
Might be a good idea. Transferring the ship's here might be a good idea too.
And I was also thinking, since we own the beach and the docks and shit now, if we manage to find enough money at some point, we could buy that big ass cannon that they got, and instead of building a ship around it, we could just put it on our dock. That way nobody is ever gonna approach this place without our say so.
About that, matey, I may or may not have a ship ready to be built around it once we get back to their shipyard.
Okay, well, I don't know where you're
Well,
getting all
yeah,
these
that's
different
the point.
ships,
The
but
second one only. But again, if things go according to plan, it may or may not be of the slightly oversized variant, which would make it easy to park here. And I mean, at worst, we can leave the whole ship to defend the fort. Double the whammy, as one would say.
yeah, I mean, I was just thinking that they'd be the greatest people to, fortify this place. We've seen what they've done with their own place, so.
I wholeheartedly agree. How are our funds looking after we've looted this place? Financially speaking, Pearl.
Yes. I'm just double checking that. One moment, please. Do have that number. I do have that number. Pearl pulls out her book and she starts thumbing through all the pages.
From me knows it looks
And,
over 4,000, but don't quote me on it.
Actually, it's 4,500 gold and 20 gems.
Oh, wow. Well, that should be quite the incentive for the possums to do a little bit of work around here.
Not a bad idea, considering they're pretty fortified where they are.
Right.
I'll drop my D20 somewhere.
Hope you find it before the dog does.
The dragon eye.
Oh, no, I have like 10, but I'm missing one.
Yeah. I just hope you find it before the dog finds it and chews it up.
He's a good boy.
And so is my dog, and he still ate one of my D4s.
Ooh.
Yeah, your dog just woke up and chose danger that time. Damn.
Yeah. He's also a lab. They eat anything.
This is true. So the next order of business is, what are your plans to getting to the ruins?
Oh yeah, we had things we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
We had a mission before the mission that we got put on.
Who has the map right now?
Pearl does. We discussed that last time.
Pearl.
Yes.
You know what? I'm not even going to make you roll for this because it's pretty obvious. If you like, just by taking a look at the map, you could pretty much just head straight down the beach towards the location of the temple.
Yes, especially with a little more of the forest gone. So I will haul out the map and set it down and point out to everybody where we are, and make that suggestion that it should not be that difficult to get there now. I'm not sure how many days travel that would be. Maybe 4?
To be fair, the jungle that was destroyed was not the one south of you, though. The angle, like where you're at now, you no longer have to go through that jungle to get to the other side of the forest, or the other side of that specific jungle.
Yeah. On the map I'm looking at, we're basically heading southwest along the beach, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You can head southwest along the beach and be completely fine if you don't want to go into the jungle. The jungle is now an optional area.
And what time of day is it?
Right now, by the time everybody shows up, gets together, you do all your counting and everything, it's about noon.
Okay.
By my estimation, would about 4 days travel do it, or maybe less?
Let's see. I said from doing it straight across would be what, 7 days? I believe that's what I said, Fox. I
think so. Sorry, I was doing money math over here. So we're at the circle on the map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we're going to the square.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
It looks like it would be between 7 and 9 days.
That long?
Something's happening with my audio.
Wow. Okay. So I will confer with Shara, and we'll come up with the estimate of how many days we think it'll take to get there. And Pearl's being optimistic, hoping that because it's along the beach, it may make the traveling a bit easier.
Yeah, you're looking at the way that I'm looking at it here. Yeah, it's about the same distance, isn't it?
Well, from the X across was...
Yeah, it's like 2 squares.
It was 10, and from the circle down, it's 5. So I would have sort of thought half the time.
Yeah, I'd say about 3.5 days. You're looking at 3.5 days. Seeing as how you don't have to go through the jungle, so there's not going to be a lot of anything slowing you up.
So I will then suggest to the group that if everyone is feeling I don't think anybody's terribly damaged after all that, because there was really no combat. So if everybody's feeling up to it, we could maybe start out and get in some of the travel before the end of the day. At least a half day's travel.
Yeah, might as well get started and make camp somewhere.
I mean, it wouldn't be as safe maybe as here, but if we're on the beach.
Do we have a way of getting a note back to the ship, tell them to bring the ship around and dock here? Once the raccoons are done with it, or the possums are done with it.
I mean, that is a good question.
Druid.
Oh. Let me think here what I might be able to do. Don't really have flight. I can't do anything today, but perhaps if I knew ahead, I might be able to come up with some way to send a message. I'll ponder it for the rest of the day while we travel.
Alright, sounds good.
See what might be possible. And I should like to confer with the captain and Cannonball and see if they have any tricks up their sleeves either for doing that.
It's true. Not investing in something that allows us to communicate with the ship long distances would be a smart use of funds.
Well, we don't have that flare anymore, but, you know, as we discussed, we maybe have other options with that axe that Shara has, but that would just be to summon the possums and the vehicle. That really wasn't to send a message back to.
I mean, worst case
the junkyard, which was
send them back.
That was kind of an oversight on our part. You know, we maybe should have thought of that a bit. What says the first mate?
10 miles.
I'm sorry?
I said my limit, sadly, is 10 miles.
10 miles.
Well, let's think of it as we travel.
And it doesn't last all day, unfortunately.
What about the captain? Does she have anything she can do?
Captain has put in earplugs.
Yeah. The captain has earplugs in?
Captain has earplugs in. She's having audio issues.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. All right. Yes, all right. So we'll assume for the moment that that would be something we can discuss along the way because it's not going to affect what we're doing anyway. So yeah. I think we set out.
Okay. Just as a reminder, even though you have hit level 5, as you have not taken a long rest yet, you do not have access to your level 5 abilities.
I just don't see why the characters would want to take a long rest right now. We didn't fight.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
I'm you know, it's 100% fair that there would
I want the level 5 abilities, but you know,
there would be absolutely no reason as to why you would need it.
That'd be true.
How far be the ruins by foot from here anyway, Captain? Well, Pearl.
Well, we think, according to the map and my broken, I mean, I'm sorry, my navigator's tools all got smashed. I'm thinking, after consulting with Shara, that it's probably 3.5 or 4 days.
Aye. Then yes, indeed, I believe we'd better make, as they say, some proverbial tracks.
so set out then.
Yeah, I mean, no reason to hang around here any longer than we have to, right?
Well, I mean, it is awesome that it's, you know, your fort and all. I can see wanting to spend a bit of time, but we'll come back and make it so amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to come back and like build the place up, but I think that's best done after, you know, we finish the task at hand, because, you know, the possums may kind of be waiting on us right now, so we should do that. Then we can sort things out.
That, and let's say I'd rather make sure the neighborhood's safe before I try to build up my own backyard.
Point well taken.
I was gonna say survey the place and figure out who our neighbors are.
I think we have significantly fewer neighbors than we had earlier today.
I mean, if you want to spend some of the day today checking out the surrounding areas and everything, that is something you most definitely can do.
Watch, we do the pirate thing and we bury our funds somewhere.
Well, we've got everything in the bag of holding, or the satchel of holding, though.
We bury the crab somewhere. Got it.
No. I don't think so.
I think crabs can kind of dig if the ground is loose enough, so it might like scurry off somewhere if we tried to do that.
You be right. Never mind.
If anything, I could be one of the people to kind of sneak around and figure out if there is anyone within a somewhat close proximity, because obviously we don't want to take too much time right now, but do a little bit of surveillance, maybe make a plan of what we want to fix and do, and then continue onward.
I mean, I can join you on that trek. Probably don't want to go send you out on your own. I'm fairly decent at that stuff as well.
That sounds good.
I feel like I've done nothing today. I'm coming along too. With your permission, of course, Captain.
Jenka's inner monologue, damn right.
Captain, Cannonball's internal monologue. Thank God she can't hear sarcasm.
Yeah, but your tentacles give it away.
Damn
Don't
it,
use
she's on.
sarcasm, they curl.
Crap, she's on to me.
That's fine. I mean, if anyone else wants to at least check the beach or anything else, feel free to do so, but until we figure out what else is going on, let the three of us kind of scout a bit while the rest of you find something to do here in the meantime. We shouldn't be too long.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna go head down to the beach then. Just come get me when you're done.
Okay, why are you going to the beach?
Investigate the beach as instructed, Captain.
Sure, you should probably investigate the water, make sure there's nothing down in that water.
Oh, I plan to.
Here's the thing. I know what you're up to and I want to counter it, but I'm not gonna lie, considering how half of us are aquatic, it might be good to know what's in the water just in case. So look at that, Shara. Your little roundabout, what you're actually going to do, may actually benefit us.
I mean, it's been working so far today, right?
Sure.
A matey that takes initiative. I like it.
All right, let's go.
I'm so happy you guys have a beach line base now. It actually gives me a reason to have beach monsters.
Yay, giant sand crabs.
Okay,
Yay,
so
dinner.
Is the general consensus everybody's just gonna have a beach day?
I think three of us are going out
Not the
scouting.
official beach day.
It's not the
that
beach
we
episode.
Would like to have.
It's not the
that
beach episode.
We would like to have, but it's not a beach episode. Yes.
Mirror and Pearl, what
Yes.
are you going to be doing?
I think I'm gonna go hang out with Shara since I've got water breathing, and I like being in the water. I think that would be a reasonable thing that I would go with Shara.
I mean, fair.
If Shara will let
Raven,
me
you're
go
good at talking.
tag along.
I'm not fully aquatic yet, but
Keyword.
Yet.
Considering he's a rabbit, that scares me.
I
Aqua
just
bunny.
keep
don't you
thinking
know?
what wet bunny fur would smell like, but well.
I'm thinking of the videos of the rabbits that go into water mode in the ears.
Well, they flatten the ears and they turn into basically fuzzy torpedoes.
Yes.
Have you seen their feet? Yeah.
Still, beach sounds nice after, you know, almost being murdered by a djinn today.
Okay. So, which group are you going with? You going the one that with the group that is going to be investigating, or are you going with the group that's swimming?
Oh, investigating's the smarter option, unfortunately.
Okay. So we've got two separate groups here going down to the beach. So, those of you who are investigating, can I get a group investigation roll?
Investigation.
I am doing this stealthily, by the way,
Okay.
I'm with her on the stealth.
if that matters for anything, but I'm definitely trying to not make my presence known as I'm investigating.
Ooh, does that mean a group stealth roll too?
If it's needed. If it's needed, I will call for it.
Okay.
It might be needed.
So I'm sorry, you said investigation, correct?
Investigation.
I think Echo's entirely distracted knowing that everyone else is playing in the water.
What'd you get, Echo?
Your roll, Echo.
You got a natural 1 for 2.
Oh God. Okay. Mira, what'd you get?
An 8.
Oh.
Cannonball.
The investigation roll is a 15. Do you need me to roll stealth right now?
Nope.
So 15.
And Jenka.
I rolled a 23.
Okay. So I need one of you. You can elect somebody to do it, but I need one of you to, since this is like a split 50-50 here, to roll me a percentile.
I'll do it.
Yeah. I was about to say, let Zoro do that.
You're good.
Where's my other percent? There it is.
Apparently my dice decided, I woke up and decided to go, fuck you. Once.
Yeah. 73.
Okay. 73. That is not bad.
No, that's could be worse.
So Mirror and Echo seem to vary off away from the rest of the group. Though Jenka, you notice like right before she's about to take a step into what looks to be a recently dug hole in the sand, you're able to, if you want, to call out to Echo to catch her attention.
Yeah, I will, since I'm technically being stealth right now, I'll go ahead and I'll shoot one of my, psionic blades in front of her to kind of catch her attention right in front of it, so she can, when she looks down, she'll notice it.
Okay. For that, I will give Echo a perception check to see if she notices it.
Different die.
At disadvantage because you did roll a 1.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 17 and 19 on the die. My my perception. So that's going to be at disadvantage 23.
Okay, so like the psychic blade sort of lands right in the sand where your foot was about to fall, and you notice in front of you there's about a 8-foot deep hole in the sand in front of you, and near the bottom of the sand looks to be various bones.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
So that doesn't look good, and I was looking at seeing what I had to see if I wanted to toss something into the hole. See what happened.
I mean,
I don't
I
have
can.
anything. I don't have anything I want to toss in the hole. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of slowly back up from the hole until I'm closer to where Captain is, and then not loudly because we're trying to sneak around. But like, there's something down that pit. At least there's bones down there. Doesn't look good.
Yeah, because they fell in the pit. Because they didn't watch out.
I mean, how deep that is? Not likely to kill.
That would kill someone. Or trap you down there so you starve.
I think you know. Get it? Pit.
Would it really? As she is monk and doesn't understand this.
And as you're having this conversation, you see this small, and not even small, a decent sized crab sort of come up from the sand carrying a human-like skull with a couple golden teeth socketed inside of it. The skull's resting on its like spined back as it crawls up the side of the hole and begins to scuttle off.
I'm thinking they were eaten.
Can you all
Pit
see
either
this?
Killed them, if that either killed them or starved them, or maybe something.
Can you see the icon I'm sharing on Roll20?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you to a map.
Zoom out. Oh no, I accidentally clicked it. Can you show the crab again, please?
So this is what the crab looks like.
He's cute.
Oh, that's so cute.
I like him. I want him as pet.
I don't like the blue ring. I know what that's from.
And it's a medium-sized creature. So it is a decent-sized crab here.
It looks tasty.
I want it as a pet. We should start collecting crabs.
No.
As this crab begins to like scuttle off, more and more crabs start coming up out of the sand in various locations, all carrying like either skulls or shiny baubles, and they all seem to be scurrying off to one location.
I want to follow.
Right.
Yeah, let's track this.
Relatives of your bag.
First of all, I don't think we should attack them because when you think about it, they're just in their natural habitat, and this could be a good source of just natural defense. 2, notice what they're all carrying. Let's see where they're collecting and hoarding them to.
Maybe find out why.
They like shiny things. But we like shiny things, so let's go look.
Skulls aren't exactly shiny.
Captain.
And the words of Captain Jack Sparrow, pirate. Shinies.
Okay, and they kind of like you begin to follow them, and they don't really seem to pay you much attention. Every now and then you get a little too close to one, and they let out like a quick snip at you, and like as it snips, there is an audible snap towards you, like letting you know this can cut. This is not just like one of those little crabs that pinch you. This will slice you. As the claws sort of are like reminiscent of the like a stapler remover.
Yep, see? Natural defense.
And they begin to scurry off, and you follow them for probably about a good 300-400 feet as you come to a coastal cave and you could see more and more and more of these little crabs going in with these baubles, and then shortly thereafter coming out and running back onto the beach and then bury themselves again.
Best to wait till they're done doing whatever they be doing, matey.
Yeah, that's my thought. I say we mark this area and come back to it while we keep exploring, because they may be a bit. Also good to know about this cave. As, if I remember correctly, let's see my character sheet. Jenka does cartography, so she is kind of making a point in the area they're in, like any significant marks or like land points and stuff like that. So she'll go ahead and she'll mark this area and note that there's a cave here as well as the crabs for us to investigate further, because she doesn't want to investigate an ominous cave with just them.
You sure? We got Angry Bunny. Come on.
The captain says not to. We're not going in at the moment.
Well, the crabs are still scurrying in, right? There's still a whole line of them, Rojan.
Oh, they're going like they're it's not really a line, as more of it's now just a scattering of crabs coming out of the cave. All in all, you probably count about 15 of these crabs that are coming and going.
Oh.
That's disconcerting for multiple reasons, but
I mean, if they stay in this area, they won't bother us none, as long as we don't bother them.
I could try to sneak inside real quick and see what, well, not check to see how deep it is, but just to check to see if it is a deep cave.
And if you sneak inside, I'd ask to go with you, as that way you're not alone if something happens.
No offense, but you didn't see the obvious trap earlier.
I'm a lot better at sneaking around than I am at finding things.
I'll keep an eye out outside. Holler if anything is coming in.
Yeah, we'll just be really quick then.
And please do me a favor, call out if there's something in there that's landing ye in trouble, Captain. I'd hate to replace you on such short notice.
I'm being all smug over there looking at me. Go away. Yes, I know. If there's danger, I will holler. In the meantime, it's just going to be a quick run in, run out. So, Echo?
Yes.
Let's just pop in real quick without them noticing. Stick to the shadows.
Agreed.
Ooh, okay.
I'll find myself a tree while I wait.
There'll be no trees here. It's the beach.
No palm trees for you.
There's no palms. No palms for you. This is not our vacation home.
So, Jenka and Echo, can I get stealth rolls from each?
Yes.
You said a rogue's magic word.
I thought the rogue's magic word is sneak
I wanted to play a
attack.
rogue forever. I wanted to play a rogue for years, and I've never played a rogue in D&D ever. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I love you. Okay. Oh, why am I doing math? That's easy math.
I got 26.
Ooh, 28.
Ooh, nice.
All right.
Expertise.
Let's see. I'm going to roll 2 perception checks here.
Okay.
Zoro, what did you get?
28.
Okay. Both of you are okay as you begin to sneak into this coastal cave that, like, about 5 feet, like 5 feet in, it starts going down at an angular incline. You could tell that when the high tide goes up onto the beach, there is definitely water that fills this part of the cave. But at the moment, you are safe. And as you go down, you can begin to see various gemstones and what looked like discarded coins that have been embedded into the cavern walls, almost as if this cave has maybe absorbed some sort of shipwreck. Going further on down, you go down probably about a 25-foot incline, and you enter into one just like large section of the cave, and there's just various stalactites and stalagmites about, and just small gatherings of treasure just scattered out amongst this room. And in the center of the cave is this another one of those crabs that you saw up on the beach, but much larger, currently nestled down a bit, almost as if it were sleeping.
And what is this again? That's sleeping?
It's another one of those crabs, but much larger.
Oh, bigger. Okay.
Yeah.
Does the way everything's lined in here, does it look like, I guess, what would be equivalent of like a dragon's hoard? It looks like everything's just kind of, they've shoved things in here over time.
It's not as organized as a dragon's hoard. It just seems like the crabs go in and they just throw it wherever and leave.
But it looks like this treasure has been accumulated over time.
Yes.
Okay. Jenka is going to look back at, actually really quick, does the cave look like it goes deeper, or we've kind of reached the end?
You've reached the end.
Oh, okay. Okay, good to know. She's gonna go ahead and turn back to Echo and kind of motion to go back. Just like turn around, let's go back. And try to sneak back out to inform the others.
All right.
Oh, you'll get a head nod.
All right, can I get stealth checks once again?
Yes. It's not bad. That's going to be a 25 this time.
Same roll.
Okay.
28.
You're able to sneak on through without raising any sort of disturbance as you come back up through the mouth of the cave.
Get to a nice, safe distance where the other two are. Hoping to God we don't see Cannonball peeing on a tree since he was looking for one. She's only assuming at this point. And she's just going to look at the other two and go, well, we have some good news, some better news, and some slightly disturbing news.
Sounds like my kind of.
Well, the cave is not that deep. So, we were able to see the cave from beginning to end. 2, there is a huge hoard in there. Which brings me to the disturbing news that it is a much larger version of one of these crabs nesting inside.
Huh. It might be a good idea just to let the crabs do their thing, accumulate wealth, and if we need emergency funds, then deal with the crab.
Yeah, especially since it looks like it's been there for a while. I think that they're not planning on moving this treasure, so perhaps something we can deal with on the way back. But this thing is big.
Yes, very,
I'm
very
not
large.
doubting our skills, but we probably should have the help of the others, just for good measure.
I don't think it'll take much to convince Shara that we should kill something that's potentially food.
And a giant hoard of treasure.
Also, I mean, I've seen a lot of benefits here. Crab for dinner, eventually, and treasure.
Definitely want to wait until we have Brian around to cook up that crab. Like we don't have our crab meat already.
Point to note as well, these crabs, whether they're doing it because of this leader or as a tribute, or maybe that's just what they do, they collect things. Maybe we should just keep an eye on if we do have a treasure room here, in case they come scurrying in and wanting our bits and bobs. Just
I mean, if we just use our little crab friend as a treasure room, they'll have to fight him for it.
Fair.
Something tells me being yanked into that bag will be the end of that story for them. Well, Captain, where to next? Do we keep exploring around, or are we heading back to the others?
Yeah, I was just doing a perimeter check. So once I guess we're on a beach, so it's technically more of a half circle check, and then go back. So we'll just finish that up and see what the others are doing.
Okay. And speaking of the others, Shara and Pearl, you reach the coastline and you can see like out into the water that it's very much full of life. You've seen it, like, just on your way there, you've seen a couple pods of dolphin sort of jumping out of the ocean every now and then. There seem to be fish aplenty all over the place. Though something larger catches your eye for a brief moment. If I can get perception checks from both of you.
That is going to be a 23 from Shara.
A 23 from Shara.
19 for Pearl.
A 19. Okay, yeah, that will do it for both of you. As you like get to the, you like start wading out into the water and you get to like the deeper parts, there is this almost quick jet right by you as this large, like, bright tentacle sort of swims past you. Both of your eyes sort of easily follow it as you see just this colossal jellyfish swimming through the water. One, because Pearl is a druid, and two, because Shara, you are a Carl. Can I get nature checks from both of you?
I'm sorry. That would be a 5.
Well, I did surprisingly well despite my -1. I got a 16.
Okay, so Pearl, all you can think of is probably Kraken at this point in time because you saw the tentacle. But
I scream.
I swear that wasn't mine.
But Shara, you're able to identify it as a coastline reaper. I'll bring this wonderful thing up onto the screen here.
Oh, it was worth a scream.
It's not quite as colorful and friendly as I was hoping.
Oh no.
That looks fun.
The coastline reaper is not something that you want to be in the water with, as they are pretty much, they're tormentors. They, unlike most jellyfish that just float about with no brain, these ones seem to just have a constant hunger. And it will grab a hold of whatever it can.
So I guess as soon as that identification kind of crosses my mind, I just kind of look over to where Pearl is and shout, "Out, get out of the water now."
Pearl is really good at following instructions.
And as you kind of say that, you see another dolphin sort of come up out of the ocean in a jump as these tentacles just lash out from underneath it, wrapping themselves around and just pulling the dolphin back down.
That was a kraken, wasn't it? Shara, tell me that wasn't a kraken. Was it?
Oh, that wasn't. No, that wasn't a kraken.
Looked like a kraken to me.
I think I might prefer a kraken. You know, they're like really big, so they wouldn't maybe be able to come this close to the coast. No, that was a coastline reaper.
Shari, you also know they can walk on land.
Fuck.
What, Shara?
I forgot that they can walk.
How fast can they walk? And how fast can we run?
Hopefully we go faster.
Do you think it saw us?
I'm sure it did. I think that dolphin just gave us a brief moment to maybe get away.
You got your axe handy. Let's go.
Oh, I always have my axe handy. Yeah,
Pearl would probably take off in a sprint away from the water.
Yeah, and I'm gonna
So that would
stay
be-
as close to Pearl as I can.
So that would be, let's see, that would be double, that would be dash, that would be double movement for me, so I would be moving at about 60 feet per round.
I could, and as Jenka and the others are coming back from the cave, you kind of spot Pearl just beelining it from the shore. Just a look of sheer panic on her face.
Is everything okay?
Pearl screams, no!
Okay. What's happening?
We're being chased by a sea monster that runs on land too, and it's sort of all broken up because Pearl's, going at a fair clip along the beach. She's not even looking back to see if in fact she is being chased by anything.
Probably just being chased by Shara at the moment.
Yeah, right.
Kind of like
you playing the game Shark.
it's kind of like when somebody's terrified of bees and they see one bee and they just take off running.
I've been personally offended by that, sir. How dare you know what I do?
But is he wrong?
With no shame, I did not deny it. I'm just saying, how dare you throw me under the bus like that?
I'm with you, Zoro. If it's
Witness.
yellow and black and it flies, I'm done. I'm leaving.
Bees are friends.
I have no shame. No shame out the door. I will scream and run as far as I can. And everyone's like, it's a fly. And I'm like, I don't care, Buzz.
Like, I walk outside. If I have a red shirt on, the bees outside will come and they'll like just fly around me because they're attracted to the color red. And it's just like, I have a bunch of bee friends.
Yeah, no, I'm good. So my issue is more spiders than bees, and I don't do the scream and run. I do the freeze and stare. Because if you take your eyes off them, they move and then you lose them.
You get the bees, I got the spiders. We've got that deal going on, girl.
We do. We do.
And this is why I can't have spiders or bees in my campaigns.
But we recently learned that I'll get over my fear of spiders if I find someone who's more afraid of spiders than I am.
There you go.
As it happened at the daycare, and everyone at the daycare was absolutely flipping out. All the adults were flipping out, and there's a giant spider in the bathroom, so I walk over the cup, scoop it up, and throw it outside.
As long as I don't see it or hear them, I'm okay if you say, hey, there is a beehive buzzing somewhere over there. Then I'm like, okay, inner anxiety, you, but at the same time, I'm not seeing it, I'm not hearing it. I can just, out of my mind.
Can Pearl kind of stop and turn around and see if Shara is keeping up and if the creature is keeping up to both of us?
You turn, you see that Shara is there, but there's no creature.
Did you kill it? Or
No, I think it's still in the water, probably. Munching on that dolphin.
Oh,
What is munching on the dolphin?
Oh, okay, hey, hi. So good news and bad news.
Hi. Same, go on, you first.
Okay, the good
More
news.
Urgent, yes.
The good news is I don't think we're gonna have any troubles with, people like trying to sneak in on our home base here through the water, because they'll probably be devoured by the coastline reapers that apparently live here. So,
I'm sorry, what?
yeah, like big, scary looking jellyfish things that are always hungry. Yeah, they like to eat everything and can go on land as well.
Yeah. Okay, great natural defense, as long as we know that they won't come fuck with us.
I mean, they might.
They'll fuck with your ship.
That was what Jenka was gonna say, is that's great for that, but how does this help us with parking our ship here?
Oh, it doesn't. That's the bad news part.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna have to kill this motherfucker, because we need a place to park our ship.
Well, I mean, we only saw one, but there could be like a whole pod of them in there. We don't know. We didn't really stick around to look.
Would it be worth removing them as we find them, so we don't end up with multiple?
Probably.
Because I hate to say it, as much as it would be kind of cool to have that as an actual defense, we're just right over there. That's kind of uncomfortable. How close that is.
And if they can walk, you could wake up with one in your bedroom.
Exactly. Exactly, Mirror. And that's why we should.
Or like squeezing through your window.
These are all really good reasons for us to not have that thing alive.
That was a great mental image, Shara. Thank you.
I'm sure
you're welcome.
There's something in the water if we need to prevent other ships from coming eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, disrupt the local ecosystem too much, but it's kind of a problem. So we should.
I'm not sure what that would do with an ecosystem besides eat it. So.
Well, it's all part of the ecosystem, right?
We definitely have a bit of cleanup to do around here.
I think
one sounds more urgent.
I'd rather have a cannon in our fort pointing at the bay than have any of those things anywhere in the water. Just saying.
Sounds much more urgent than our giant crab that's hoarding treasure.
Say what?
There's a giant crab down the beach that is hoarding treasure.
There's a bunch of smaller crabs bringing it treasure. So we have a payday.
Neighbors.
I mean, we could always kill it and take the treasure.
I mean, are they, friendly?
No.
Well, to be fair, we didn't really get close enough, other than they gave us some warning snips, which, a lot of animals do. But they were hoarding treasure, and a lot of it, in a cave that it's quite cozy. It's actually a cozy cave, except there's a giant version, or a bigger version, I should say, slumbering inside. So, not to sound like a greedy pirate, but I would love to have some of that treasure that they're collecting in there. But we need to deal with the big guy at some point. But they're kind of doing their own thing. They're not even close to here. They're kind of off a little bit more, so they're not really a threat as much as what you just experienced. But they should, the big one at least, maybe should be dealt with.
I had a thought just now as you were explaining this. It might be a really good thought, or it might be a horrible thought. I don't know. I don't talk to animals. But these crabs, obviously, they're going in the water to, collect all this treasure and shit, right? And the coastline reapers don't seem to be eating the crabs. So maybe we could talk to the crabs, strike up some sort of bargain, have them help us protect this coastline from the reapers, and, we get some neighbors out of it.
So you want me and Pearl to go talk to the crabs and start some sort of kaiju fight? I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, if they're willing to, that'd be great.
I mean, that's not a terrible idea. It's not.
Did any of you talk to crabs in the first place?
Yeah.
Not today, but tomorrow.
You guys have seen Jenka do it.
Yeah,
Jenka
has done it.
I'm correct.
And we've got a druid, so between the two of them, I'm sure they can at least try to strike up a conversation. The crabs might not be willing to talk, but if they are willing to talk, maybe we can bargain.
Especially if that's like their leader, queen bee, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
They might at least. I can't believe I'm about to say this next sentence. Grant us an audience with their queen bee. I'm pretty sure any decision we ask them to do, they're just going to be like, talk to them. Either way,
it's worth a try, right? Yeah, and I mean,
yes.
If they're willing to help us deal with the Reapers, then we can be beneficial to each other. We can help protect them from other things, and they can help protect us. And we both get a bunch of treasure.
I like that. We could try that.
I have a player to DM question here.
What is it?
Okay, so I'm just looking at animals that I can turn into.
Mm-hmm.
I see, like, I can do already a giant crab, but remembering how well it went with the lizard attempt, is that going to be the same kind of crab or not?
It is. So these crabs are considered razorback crabs, and they are a CR of 2.
CR of 2, even the little ones?
The little ones are the CR of 2.
Oh.
Because the little ones are medium-sized creatures.
So there's, oh boy. So I don't have a hope of turning into one of those.
Not at the moment, no.
Not for a long time. And I assume it would be a similar situation with the jellyfish. I've seen it, but
there's. I could tell you right now, there is no chance of you turning into that anytime soon.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So that. Yeah. Remembering how badly her thought turning into the lizard went, she's sort of going, well.
You mean lizard in a trench coat?
That was the one, yeah. Actually, it was a lizard in a loincloth, but same difference, yeah. Yeah, so that I can't duplicate the crab, unfortunately. The best I can do is a different kind of crab. I don't know if that would make it easier for me, or not.
I would be careful because I feel like, at least from what I've witnessed that you can do so far, as a much smaller crab, I don't know how these creatures work other than they might see you and go, snack.
That's what I'm afraid of, so I like your idea way better.
Or see you as a threat and pinch you. And
something horrible.
Look good. Yeah, those I'll tell you right now, from what we did see from those pincers when they were coming at us or giving those warning snips, yeah, they could probably do some good damage. So I would be wary for your safety in that sense.
Yeah, but if you can talk to them, have at it.
Well, do we want to do that now, or do we want to do that when we come back? Because we got nothing to hide in here at the moment, so I'm not worried if something decides to take a walk in our keep, because there's nothing in there right now. And then we just deal with this when we come back, or we deal with this now.
Problem would be is if they take a walk into our keep, decide it's a better place to stay and inhabit it.
Okay, but has it been here this whole time, or it just magically appeared?
I mean, there's been stuff in the keep. The activity might have deterred them.
Oh, fair. Well,
it's a risk we could take.
A day or two. I think we could maybe spare a day or two doing it.
Yeah, I think the sooner we can maybe sort that out, the better, so we can get our ship over here. But also maybe, we just kind of hang out here until tomorrow, and then we do it tomorrow.
Jenka, you can speak to animals sort of like right now, though. Like you don't have.
I can only speak to aquatic animals. So it's not like I can walk up to a squirrel all willy-nilly and go, hey, what's up, bud? It has to be aquatic.
Okay, do the crabs count as aquatic?
I'm sorry, my thing is cutting out. What was that?
I was just asking if the crabs would count as an aquatic creature for you to speak with.
It keeps cutting out. What is she saying?
She's asking you if the crab would count as an aquatic creature.
Oh, that... I mean, I guess that's technically up to Rojan.
Yeah, they... Actually, I would say no. Because they do not have a swim speed.
My
Okay.
sound's going out. I need to fix that, but I heard no because of what the creature does. Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick break here. So Zora, you can take care of that. We can get ourselves something to drink, stretch your legs, and all that fun stuff. And we will be back in about 5 minutes.
To drop
All
animal
right.
messenger.
We are back.
Hello.
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 So, I believe all of you were having a discussion as to what you are going to do with your crab friends.
Yep. And Shara had somewhat proposed the idea of just hanging out here until the next day so that Pearl could prepare speak with animals.
Yeah. So actually, Pearl is going to prepare 2 spells that she hasn't used before. She's going to actually prepare speak with animals, but she's going to prepare animal messenger.
All right, so sorry, but so before we get before you start preparing, is there anything else you're doing throughout the day, or are you all just going to call it a day and move to the next one?
Well, I guess first we see if everyone else is cool with just hanging out here for the day, or if they want to get a move on to the other destination.
We really need to solve that problem before it turns into an unexpected problem.
I'm fine either way, but if we do stay, I say we at least keep a watch tonight to make sure none of those critters come too close.
Seems reasonable. So I guess if the plan is to stay, then maybe Shara will take some time to in wherever we decide to kind of camp, since there isn't really any shelter at the moment. She'll take some of the debris from the wreckage of this place and kind of like create a perimeter circle around us. So if anyone tries to sneak up on us, they have to crunch through the debris first.
Okay.
Is Shara relaying this plan? Because this I can help.
She is not, because she didn't think that far ahead. She just went around, started collecting garbage and putting it in a circle.
I guess the better question is, do I notice her doing anything, or do I just kind of go, yeah, shark?
I think you would notice a large shark person just randomly picking up garbage and setting it up in a strange perimeter.
It's like, sure, what are you doing?
It's an alarm.
Tower defense.
No, that's junk on a beach.
Well, now it's going to be junk in our keep. But like in a circle. So if people step on it, they wake us up. I didn't think to explain that part. I'm sorry.
Look, it's her keep. Let her do what she wants. If she wants to fill it with garbage, she can fill it with garbage.
She can.
But I mean, it should work, right? This stuff's kind of crunchy enough that it'll make noise if somebody steps on it to try and like sneak up on us when we're... I don't know how heavy jellyfish are, so maybe it won't work. But I'm doing it anyway.
You're just gonna run over and start jumping on a piece. See if it makes noise.
It works. Believe me, it works.
If he was able to make noise with it, I want to run through and see if I can go through it stealthily and not make noise.
Shara, can you give me a survival roll to see how well you set up this trash alarm?
Put my trash collecting skills to the test here. Good thing I'm proficient. Oh, fuck. That's only going to be a 10.
Okay. It looks like it's going to last. It looks like it's going to do its trick.
Believe me, I've slept in garbage before. It works every time.
I'll take your word on that.
Is there anything else anybody's doing throughout the day? Because you do remember, you do have your own camping sets. You have your own tents, which, you know, confused a lot of the seafaring people as to what a tent was. But
we do.
Rojan, could I trouble you to flip us over to the main map? Because we want to check some distances here.
Yeah. You are now on the main map.
Thank you.
Oh, you might be able to get away with it, actually.
What?
The distance for animal messenger is limited, so we're trying to remember how far we are from like our ship and the possums and stuff. Because each square, I found in my notes, each square is approximately 120 miles.
And yeah, if it went diagonal, it's 1 square. So they're about 120-ish miles from you.
Would that be as the bird flies? Or if we actually had a bird to fly, would it be a little less?
What do you mean?
Okay, I can get a distance of 100 miles out of animal messenger with a small flying bird. And we were trying to discern if I would be able sending a message by bird if we could get it back to the possum junkyard.
Well, within a range of 120 miles, or is that 100 miles?
It's just 100
miles.
Oh, yeah. So you would, like, it would barely be with, it would be too far as to where you're at right now.
Hopefully for the best, because we don't want to bring that ship around as long as that thing's in the water.
No. The other thing Pearl is going to gather the group around and talk to them about is Echo's idea of sending a message about the ship and realizing that maybe that isn't our best option, but realizing that it may be possible to send a message to the tank with the other possums in it, depending upon how far they have gone. And within the parameters of the spell, it might be worth a try.
In that sense, it would be a bit harder because it's not a fixed location.
No, but apparently the bird would have a couple days to try to find them. If it doesn't find them, it doesn't find them. But if it does find them, it could relay a short message of what had happened, which would update them a bit.
I mean, it's possible. But
I mean,
it's
maybe
a long
it's a
shot.
roll or something to whether it's a success. But I mean, if the bird can't deliver the message, the bird will just return to its original location, is my understanding.
Yeah, you would. It's possible, but it's going to be a long shot because there's no telling where they're at this point in time.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a spell slot, and it might be worth it. So she's throwing that idea out to the group to see what they think, whether they think it's worth trying to do
And Shara, she doesn't really understand magic, so she's just kind of like, yeah, if you want to use the resources to do that, they're your resources to use, type of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think that it would be helpful for the possums in the tank to know that, okay, we're not where we theoretically thought we were going to be, but we're going to end up where we said we were going in the end anyway, but we don't have a flare?
Yeah, I think it would be helpful for them to, at the very least, just know that we're not dead. Because they probably saw that huge storm and stuff, even from where they were. So
we can probably set a fire signal.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm thinking is I could, if I can find a little bird, I could send a message that says, we're safe, or we survived, we're alive and heading towards our destination, our original. We're alive and heading to our destination. Don't have the flare anymore. We'll set fire. We'll set a signal fire.
We'll set the fire to the forest. Don't worry about it.
I think you still have the flare.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't remember using it.
The flare's in the bag.
Oh, so we got the flare back. Oh, that's right, because we got our stuff back. So we do have the flare now.
Yeah, the flare is in the bag of holding right now.
Yeah.
Okay, because for a while there we didn't have the flare. So we do have the flare. So no, so I probably wouldn't bother then. I had forgotten that we got everything.
So we don't need to
back,
do anything. We can just still set off the flare.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah. So I'll just spend the one spell slot for the speak with animals then.
Well, if we have some downtime before the evening, Char's gonna find a place. Or not Char. Don't know why I said that.
Yeah, it's taking control of somebody else's character. Damn.
Yeah. I am Chara now. Sorry. We're pirates, right? We can hijack everything.
Even each other's characters. Mine now.
Echo's going to find a place to kind of make herself cozy and start reading the almanac some more.
Oh,
almanac.
Right. I forgot about that. Okay. How much time are you going to dedicate to reading the almanac?
How much time do we have?
I mean, you have after you get back to the beach from your little excursion to the beach and everything, you spent maybe about 2 hours out there. So it's about 2 in the afternoon.
I'll spend most of the evening doing that. There's at one point I want to have the chat with Pearl over dinner or whatever.
Okay.
But the rest of the time I'll just spend reading.
I still need to have a commitment of time.
It's 2 in the afternoon. Let's go 4 hours.
Okay.
Dinner time ish.
Okay. Have you all distributed the magic items yet?
No. We were talking about who would benefit from what, though. We just haven't divvied it out yet.
Okay. Just to say that will need to happen if you're going to use them.
Yeah, because we need that attunement time.
Yeah.
Which would probably be a decision we need to make here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the ring was a druid ring, so
yes,
that makes sense.
Pearl gets that.
Yeah.
I still stand by one of the
actually it was said
it
was not magical.
I think
one of the barbarians should take the bracers.
I would encourage those towards Shara, not myself.
Yeah, for whatever it's worth for the dividing up here, Shara kind of has her eye on the bracers and the crossbow.
I think the bracers definitely can go to you because I won't make use of them as well.
Yeah. I'm just checking the list real quick.
Pearl had her little paws on that spiral notebook, and she has pocketed that and is kind of hoping that it doesn't come up in conversation.
Is that the flip notebook?
The flip notebook, yeah.
Okay, so we have that to Pearl. And the crossbow and bracers are to Shara?
Yes.
I'm okay you having the crossbow.
Yep.
Actually, before I down to read that almanac, I think we decided that names. Why is my brain just not working? Cannonball is going to get first crack at that. I forgot that we were talking about that.
The dragon book?
Yep, the dragon book.
Oh.
All right, whenever possible.
Yeah, no, we'll let you have first crack at that since that was right up your alley. And we're really excited about it.
I mean, if you said you had started reading it. If you want to read it first, that's fine.
Nope. Because I have purely academical curiosities into it. So
I swear I don't want to do weird experiments, I promise.
no, not at all. So yeah, you can have first crack at it.
Okay, so the book will be two.
Which book?
Dragon
The
Almanac.
dragon book.
The one that you were reading?
That I was going to read. I think I'll let Cannonball have it first.
Okay.
Up to you, I really don't mind waiting.
Nope, Cannonball's having it. Don't argue with me.
I think she heard me through your mic, actually.
Oh, there we go. That works.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. Echo can just read it after Cannonball's read it.
Exactly.
There we go.
Pass it around.
Yeah. Funny thing is, I don't need to know Draconic. I just want to summon a dragon.
Well, and that knowledge of common dragons will be really valuable, I think, for the whole group.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree 100%. So I'm just saying, I'm in no hurry in that sense. So
I also feel like
point of urgency.
there might be something that happens as you read this book.
Costs part dragon now.
We're experimenting on Cannonball. Got it.
If it helps, I'm starting to collect daggers now at this rate. If it helps, I wouldn't mind having the chained blade and the dagger, since that's, well, the chained blade is a blood hunter weapon.
Yeah.
So, I have a problem. And then dagger for rogue shit.
Yeah, I
Unless
think we
anyone
both.
else wants to use that.
I think when we heard about those, and all of us immediately went Jenka.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, neat. Not me.
So we still have the helm, boots, necklace, and net.
Didn't Shara want the net?
What was it, Shara?
She identified the net.
Oh, okay.
I feel like the net would be good. Really for anyone, maybe one of the other, maybe the barbarians as well. So
Yeah, it's something that really anyone can use because it's not
Yeah.
not an attuned item. So
My
Yeah.
only concern is how big it would be and how awkward it would be for a smaller character.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you throw it, you're maybe just gonna get,
I might go with it.
or you'd end up, anything below 2
Tangled
feet
into it.
tall would be trapped.
yeah.
Just saying.
I feel like the net. If that's the case, then I would say the net goes for either. I would say, actually, monk shit. It's like a thrown weapon.
It is.
I don't know if you want to take that, Echo.
Just throw the net on them and trap them and just start punching them as they're trying to escape.
That sounds like a very, very, very drunken monk thing.
Yeah, I can take that.
Agreed. I feel like the necklace is very cannonball,
Yes. Agreed.
in my opinion.
the only thing with that necklace is that the effect that it does is a wisdom contest.
Yes.
So if you don't have
Oh.
a decent wisdom, chances are that necklace is just going to kill you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
so
would be either Pearl or I with the highest wisdoms, I think.
That's, yeah, with my currently soul damaged state right now, I will not be using that anytime soon. Let's just leave it at that.
I'm sitting
You know
here.
what?
I'm sitting here. It's like, do you want a dead cannonball? Because that's how you get a dead cannonball.
I mean, look.
Like-
who knows?
like
Nat
it's-
20s exist,
it's
but,
gonna be-
like,
it's gonna be a
we don't wanna
It's gonna be a reoccurring joke as to like cannonball goes to do that, completely whiffs and just falls over, and Pearl has to spend a spell slot to heal him before he dies.
Because if he dies,
I dies, I know.
But here's the thing: we don't have to use it. We could
But
just
Rogan,
sell it.
tell me, if it works, what does it do exactly?
It exchanges whatever your current HP total is right now with your target.
Is that exchange permanent?
It is not.
You
have it until-
changes the current, not the max.
It changes the current, not the max. Yeah.
So say a boss has 200 HP during that fight. If I use it, the boss now has my pathetic 47 HP pool. I now have 200 HP until the end of the fight.
Until the 200 runs out.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Oh, until it runs out.
Yeah. because
might want the necklace
because it's technically you're pretty much just getting an overshield at that point.
Got you.
I would say that would be so good for Mir.
Okay.
But it's a wisdom, and I don't think none of us have good wisdom.
Another
except
stupid
for
question.
Pearl.
I feel like I must ask.
Hey, I
What
have
is
decent wisdom.
What is the range on that ability, and does it count as a spell?
If you can see it, you can do it.
Give it to me, boys.
It does
It's
not.
a wisdom-based check.
It does
You
not
hear
count
that?
as a spell, but it counts as an action.
Okay, but you telling me that, you know, as long as I can see it, I can do it, that's fine, right? Excellent.
Just randomly just snipe somebody from like 100 feet away.
And then just follow up with a good old, you know, Eldritch Blast from 300
You're just like sitting here just like trying to selectively Captain Ginyu somebody.
Yeah, I have a 20 wisdom, just saying.
I mean,
I would.
16.
Pearl probably wouldn't have the guts to use it, is the thing.
well, there's that, and also if you
That's
faint,
not bad either.
I don't think anybody else has healing spells to pull you back up. That's the one downside. I am
Well,
expendable. You are not.
That's the caveat. If you die while using that necklace, you're dead. You can't be brought back. You're out.
You're dead.
Yeah, you're
There's
dead,
no
which is
reviving.
why I don't think
No.
I don't think Pearl would have the guts to do it. Is the thing.
Not that I want to see Cannonball die or anything, but I just remembered that you have Hex, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so Hex targets abilities, giving the target disadvantage on ability checks.
Correct.
So if you target their wisdom, because
Correct.
this is a roll-off, not a save, they would
Correct.
be using the ability and they'd be doing it at disadvantage if you hexed them first.
Correct. Which will buff anybody else who's also doing it technically.
And Hex is a bonus action,
Mhm.
if I remember correctly. And I assume using this thing is an action.
It is an
Correct.
action.
So you could bonus action Hex their wisdom and then use your action to use the necklace. Just saying, putting that out in the world. It's a thing.
It is a thing, and I
Just
could do
saying.
it from very, very far away. Now, the question is, though, can I have the text on the item again, Pearl? Do you have it somewhere hidden away?
Well, it's not really hidden away.
I
I
have it right
dropped
here.
everything in detail into chat. In
Yeah.
our chat.
It's in Discord chat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drop it to you.
Pearl
really
did her
fast.
purser thing and made massive notes.
I just
Here's
direct messaged
here's
it
the
to
thing
you.
though. Just because we get all this treasure doesn't mean we have to keep it. We can sell this shit if we don't
Yeah.
want to keep that necklace.
Excuse me.
I'm
We
just
don't sell
saying.
shit. We hoard shit.
Oh, I just find it funny that Zoro is willing to like sell magic items, but you know, use a health potion. No, can't do that.
Sell the magic item to buy the health potion. That's how she
No.
buys them.
Yeah.
So, Roshan, I'm reading here that a failed result will knock you to 0, right? With one failed death save, and if you fail the other two, you're dead and can't be brought back.
Correct.
Can you still be raised, like lifted back up? Right?
You can still be healed, and you can still be healed. Yes. So if
Okay, that's what I meant.
if you botch it up, you fall to 0 HP with the one failed death save. Pearl can drop a cure wounds on you and bring you standing right back up.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to double check. Other thing too, if I then subsequently get knocked down again after that because I barely have any health left, that does not trigger the necklace, as it does say that, you know, other deaths can still be revived, correct?
Yeah, you still have to use the necklace in order for the necklace's negative effect to take effect.
Okay, so it really you have to be knocked out by failing the will.
You
contest.
you pretty much have to shoot your life force out into the void and fall to that in order for the necklace's effect to happen. So if you have the necklace on and you take enough damage physically to be dropped to 0 HP, that's just normal rules as written.
Okay. I think we can use this thing potentially. Yeah, we can potentially use this thing.
At least we didn't say responsibly.
It'll take-
Oh no, there's no way. There is no way to use this necklace responsibly.
But it can be used.
It can be
Well,
used.
It will take teamwork.
Oh,
And
God.
we'll have to actually do this like in a smart way, but it can be done. as long as we do it in a smart manner. So yes, if you guys want to give this to Cannonball,
or a desperate manner, one or the other.
That's the same thing where I come from. But yeah, no, I think with proper teamwork we can use this thing safely. Ish.
I think. Okay, so we'll just have you have it.
Oh, let me eat it.
Now, is it attuned?
And then.
Yeah, you have that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To that one, yeah. I think because he's already fast as fuck, if I remember correctly, I think the boots should go to Mir.
Yes.
I respect that option.
Because you're already like really fast, right?
I was honestly thinking of making them look like Sonic the Hedgehog shoes.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
okay,
not that
yeah.
I'm not faster than.
But you have like a beast ability that helps you get faster, right? So I think the shoes on top of it would like.
No, I have a rabbit ability.
Good. That could be anything for a rabbit ability. Some not safe for work.
I have the jumping thing that bunnies do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the high jump.
But,
I still think you would benefit because we were talking about like yeeting you or throwing you or you jump or something that like I don't know. Your feet were magical. I think either way you should still have them.
I get additional abilities that go down that road. So yes, I can make use of the boots.
Yeah, and I feel like the boots and the helm make a real dangerous combo.
Yes.
Ooh,
I was just about to say the same thing. It's a package deal.
Yes, you should get the helm as well.
Yeah, 100% charge into somebody at max distance and just ram into them.
I'm going to have to make ear holes.
So I'll just.
It can be done.
I mean, it's magical. It conforms to your head.
And then crossbow's going to Char, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's everything.
Yes, I think that is.
And I think a good chunk of it is attuned, but not all of it.
Yeah. Majority of it's attuned stuff.
Yeah.
I think the net is non-attuned. The boots are not attuned. They are cursed.
The necklace is not.
I think that's it. Everything else you have to attune to.
The boots
are
the
not notebook.
attuned.
The flip notebook's not attuned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So only the helm is attuned. So the boots are not attuned. So you don't have to worry about the boots, but you would have to attune to the helm.
Yeah.
The curse isn't something horrible. Good luck.
Yeah, we know the boots are cursed. We don't know what the curse is, and we also know that there was something else going on with the helmet, but we couldn't determine what that was.
Oh, so the two questionable things just went to Mir. Good luck.
Yep.
Don't worry. I'm okay with this.
Okay.
I forgot that little part. I did not mean to do that to you, Mir. I just thought you'd benefit it and then just completely ignored the other shit.
Nope. I'm okay with this. I know my own mortality. I'm a barbarian.
Just out of curiosity, how long does that Misty Step last? Like, how many times can I use it?
Once a round.
Yeah, I assume it's just like the enchantment that Kyo put on her spear, where she could throw it and then teleport to its location.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna Echo Knight this shit. Let's do it.
Because technically, throwing the dagger is an action, so you pretty much spend your action the Misty Step. But as long as you have possession of the dagger, if you want to use the ability to Misty Step somewhere, you can.
So if you have 2 attacks, though, can you Misty Step then attack again?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm totally attuning to this. I'm not going to attune to the chain blades yet. But I am going to attune to the dagger.
Alrighty. All right. I think that is everything, right?
Yes, that's everything.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you got your magic.
Since that's only going to take an hour of my time, can I spend the rest of the time, this is going to sound so dumb, but can I spend a handful of hours just pretending to repair shit to get some carpentry ticks
well,
on my...
I can say this. You don't have to pretend to repair anything. There are a bunch of shoddy walls that have been erected around this ring fort. So if you want to spend time reinforcing said walls, you most definitely can.
Can I follow her around working on my little whittling project, and every time she does something wrong, go, wrong tool. No, not like that.
So just like walking around offering criticism?
It's in a way of trying to help her learn.
I see.
Are you just being a troll? I don't know if that's helping or just being a troll.
Little calm A, little calm B. This is how I'm helping.
Either way, I'll take it. Okay, well, we got a good chunk of the afternoon, so I can get a decent amount done. How many rolls would you like me to do?
1.
Just one? Okay.
Yep.
Was this the D6 or the D20?
D6.
D6, that's right. I'll take that. 5.
Okay, so that is 3.
3 ticks?
Yep.
I'm so close. Kinda. Okay.
Is anybody else working on anything?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna figure out which of the two things we gotta work on right now, because a lot of things to do there.
Yes, I am going to spend outside of the hour, 2 hours. Which one of the, do these need attunement, both of them, or just one?
Just one.
Just the boots.
Okay, I'm going to attune to those, except the curses are now part of my life.
Did you put the boots on?
Yep.
Okay, so I can now tell you what the curse is.
Goody.
Oh no.
Even though you can move at ridiculous speeds, you cannot move less than what your maximum movement speed is. If you in combat move any increment less than what your base speed is, you trip and fall prone.
Yeah,
so he's going to be running in circles a hell of a lot.
I've been down this road before. I had a centaur that suffered this problem.
At warp speed?
Yes.
Yes. that was a thing I had to deal with.
I do recall, lines of fire where they ran.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And eldritch smiting charges. Yes, I'm well aware. Okay, I'm gonna have to find the description on those boots then in the grand list of things.
As much as I would like to say that I'm working on my carpenter tools, I'm half paying attention to what Jenka's doing, so I can't.
Yeah,
I love this.
If you're gonna troll Jenka, you can't roll anything.
Yeah.
You know what the best part is, Rojan?
Worth it.
Because after I return to those, I'd like to spend the rest of my day working on my athletics training.
Okay. So it's pretty much you just running ridiculous speed laps around the area?
And part of the beach.
Okay.
I love it.
So since you've got the go fast boots on, I will allow you to roll 2d6.
Two and a 1.
Okay, so that's 2 ticks total.
I'm okay with this.
Cannonball, you said you wanted to work on something?
Yeah, I'm just now stuck in that. Well, let me just double check. Did the necklace need attunement as well?
No.
No. All right, so then we're reading the book.
Okay. So the book, instead of rolling for the clock, is a set amount of time, and you just have to dedicate hours to the book until you complete it.
I figured as much.
The necklace is an attuned item.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
it
sorry.
is.
Oh, on the list it didn't say anything, so I figured it wasn't attuned. That was my bad.
Okay, how does attunement work then with you, Rojan?
You spend the hour and you're attuned.
Oh, just the 1 hour.
Yep.
All right, well, we're spending the 1 hour attuning to the necklace. And then whatever we have left that is not going to be occupied by, getting a decent amount of sleep will be spent on the book.
All right. I do need a specific amount of hours given for the book.
Okay, what time is it right now in the game then?
We did say it was 2 o'clock. By the time we
Yes.
started.
Okay, so if that's the case, from 2 to 3, I'm attuning to the necklace. And then from 3 to 8, I'll spend 5 hours on the book, and then the rest sleeping, provided, obviously, our night is not interrupted by anything.
Sounds good to me.
So I will put down in my character sheet that I've spent 5 hours on the book, and that I'm attuned to the Necklace of Doom.
Okay. Is anyone attempting to cook food tonight?
Pearl would have also spent an hour attuning to the ring, because I think
Mhm.
that is an attuned item.
The swarm ring?
Yes.
Okay.
Swarming.
And cooking falls under
Survival.
performance?
Survival.
Survival. Pearl will attempt to see if she can cook supper for the group.
Okay.
Because she doesn't have much else she needs to work on.
Remind me, has the group brought any food to prepare, or is some hunting gonna need to be done?
Some hunting will have to be done.
Does Shar have time to do some hunting, some fishing or hunting, or?
Yeah, Shara was just doing her attunements and making her garbage alarm. There wasn't really anything else that she was doing, so.
That's fair. That's a perfectly good alarm.
Yeah, so Pearl will walk over and ask Shara if she can spare some driftwood or something to build a fire, and ask if Shara would like to try her hand at some fishing or some other way of capturing small sea creatures that we could eat for supper.
Well, perhaps maybe we should kind of look into the fields around this area for creatures. I feel like approaching the water with that angry jellyfish swimming around in there might be a bad idea.
Very good point. It can go on land too, though, remember, so.
Yeah.
And perhaps one of those razor crabs would also be a bad choice for supper.
Yeah. So maybe we can find like a nice rabbit or something.
Well, okay.
Excuse me?
Your twist.
I know what I said.
Pearl says, not that rabbit.
Catch me first.
Okay. So Shara, if you are going to go out hunting, you said you're going into the grassland, right? You're not going down in the beach. Okay. Can you, let's just call it a straight up, are you taking any ranged weaponry with you, or is this going to be just, you're going to run down whatever it is and hit it with an axe?
You know what? I'm going to use this opportunity to play with that crossbow. So this will happen after I attune to that crossbow.
Okay.
So every shot is going to hurt me, but I'll figure out how it works in the meantime.
Okay. You most definitely can do that. So after you attune and you set on out, go ahead and give me a survival roll.
That's going to be an 18.
An 18. Nice. Roll me a d4, please. 4. How much damage does the crossbow do? The d10?
Yes, I think so.
Go ahead and roll me.
Yes.
Go ahead
D10.
and roll me 4d10.
Do you want them all added together?
Nope, separate.
So that's a 3 and a 4. And then a 3 and a 6.
Okay, so that's what, 16?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to take 16 points of damage.
Okay.
But you hit the jackpot as you bring back 4 gazelles.
Nice.
It takes you about an hour and a half to go out, kill them, bring them back.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, so she probably just comes strolling back into camp with that crossbow in one hand, holding gazelles by the hind legs slung over her shoulder in the other hand.
Wow. That's a lot of food, sure, but maybe we can roast these in large pieces.
Yeah, I mean, we can take some with us if we don't eat it all. I'm pretty hungry. You know, I could probably eat like one by myself. But,
Yeah.
you know, if there's any leftovers, we can take it with.
Yeah. Well, if we cook it, you know, I mean, there's not time to make jerky or anything like that, but I think if it's cooked, it would probably keep pretty well, at least for a bit. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if it's raw either. It's fine by me.
Well, how about you have very rare for supper, and we'll have more cooked things. We can, you know, cook some of it longer for later.
Yeah, it sounds good. So do you need me to like string them up so you can bleed them or whatever? I don't usually do like the gutting and the cleaning. I leave that to other people. You know, if I'm out in the wilds, I'll just like dig in. So I don't know. You probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, I can probably field dress them and.
Okay, Pearl.
Go
ahead and give me a survival roll for
oh boy.
the preparation of said animals.
Okay. That's going to be a 22.
Okay. You most definitely can do it. It takes a little bit of time taking care of the 4 gazelles, but you're able to get to it and begin preparing them for the fire.
Okay, and presumably Shara can spare enough driftwood so that we can cook things up.
Oh yeah, there's definitely enough driftwood about.
Now, and while Shara was out hunting the game, would Pearl have been able to maybe go out and look for some edible plants that we could have with this?
Yeah, you could most definitely forage for some sort of vegetation.
Okay, as a druid, is that?
That is survival as well, since it is foraging.
Okay, do you want a separate roll for that? Or?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if we're going to have salad with that gazelle. Yes, we definitely are. We're going, that would be a 22.
22. Give me 1 second here. Okay, with the 22, you're able to find a couple of handfuls of wild carrots out and about.
Okay, so I'll try to do something with those to make something that would go nice with the gazelle. And knowing how Shara eats and having seen actually the whole crew with the possums, realizing they have fairly hefty appetites for meat and such, she'll just try to basically roast things up and have you know, the carrots. She might not even cook them, maybe just have them as raw vegetables on the side. That way she can't do anything bad.
Okay, so are you preparing them with? Are you preparing them to be with the meat, or is it just going to be like raw vegetation on the side for anyone who wants it?
Yes, the second option.
Okay. So go ahead. Are you adding, do you have any spices or anything to add to the meat, or is it just straight up gazelle?
Let me see what I would have. Okay, I would have my herbalism kit would be the closest I could come to if there was anything that I could dig through in there and find that I thought would be appropriate to season meat. Otherwise, no.
Yeah, it wouldn't necessarily come in an herbalism kit. That would be more of something like a chef's pack. That would have.
Yeah, no, I don't have unless no, I can't think of his name. Starts with a B.
Bryant.
Unless Bryant tucks something in for us, I wouldn't have anything with me.
If I remember correctly, Mama Plum did provide like a small cooking set for you guys.
Yeah, what I have is I have the camping supplies as such. But I think you're right, she did, but I didn't make a separate note of that. But I think she did.
Yeah, because
send us something.
If you have like the small like campground cooking set, it would come with basic spices and whatnot.
Okay, I actually have camping supplies that talk about a campfire. It says a campfire cooking set specifically.
Yep, there you go.
Did give us one of those.
Okay, yeah. So you do have the spices and everything, which is good because since you have that based on your role for cooking, you may provide a buff to the group.
Oh, fantastic.
So
that would...
This is going to be another survival roll.
Okay. And that is going to be a 16.
A 16. Very nice. Let me see. Okay. So it's a decent meal for those who eat it. It's not too overcooked or undercooked. Pretty much a good medium rare steak that you're eating. And it's going to give a minor buff to everybody to where you're going to have where is that die at? You are going to have 8 temporary HP at the start of the next day.
Ooh, nice.
And those will last for the day?
Yes, those will last until used or for 24 hours.
Cool. Thank you, Pearl.
Thank you.
Great. Well, Shara did most of the work, really. I mean, it was the firewood, and I think things taste better over driftwood somehow. Seems to have cooked it really evenly.
Agreed.
And are there leftovers that we can pack up to take with us?
Oh, if you cooked all 4 gazelles, yes, there is most definitely leftover.
Okay. And with them being cooked, do we have any idea how long they would last for us?
If you're going to pack them as leftovers, you can prepare them as rations.
Okay.
And so like these like pretty much you're turning them into jerky.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So, what does that provide us with in additional rations?
So you've, out of the entirety of the group, you've probably consumed probably 2 gazelle. So you've got another 2 left. That's, I'm going to say you probably get a good 30 to 40 meat rations out of this.
So 30 to 40 meat rations. Okay.
So 35?
Sure.
Okay, so 35 meat rations. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry I just gave you like a broad number, a broad range numbers. Anywhere between 30 to 40.
All right.
some point during that meal, Echo's gonna, fill her plate and sit down next to Pearl. I wanted to ask you the spell you used the other day, the one that caused the thunder to go off.
Yes.
Something kind
Thunder
of common for the druids to know, or is that something you learned specially?
It's reasonably common. I mean, there's other things that can be done, but it works nicely outside. And it does a fairly good damage. I mean, and then there's the boom, of course, which is kind of loud, which obviously is the problem from your perspective. I think it, would be better in obviously certain circumstances than others, but if you're also trying, maybe trying to alert allies that you need help or something and they're aware of it, or you might be able to scare other opponents, like if you had a bunch of goblins or something and they heard this horrible boom, they might hopefully retreat.
See that? I'm mostly asking. I don't remember much from the night my mother died, but I do remember that there was a lot of thunder. I always just chalked it up to it must have been a stormy night, but she was a druid, so now I wonder.
Oh,
There was something else that happened.
well, that's interesting. I mean, it's a spell you learn fairly early on as a druid, and I think in some ways it depends what kind of a druid you are, and what sort of appeals to you, and living in the Tricorn Isles here with the big skies and the oceans and storms rolling in, it somehow seems appropriate, and it seems like a natural thing that would fit, and you know in that's kind of why I went to it. It was one that my mentor was quite fond of, and I never really asked why he had chosen it, but it was one he taught me, and you know I I had found it was quite effective.
It just makes me wonder if there's more to that night than. I mean, I don't remember the night. I was a young girl, but I always just thought it was a stormy night.
Did something happen to her?
She died that night. I don't know the details.
Do you think perhaps there was a fight or something and she was trying to protect herself?
Now I'm wondering. I mean, the town we lived in, my father was a hunter, so there was lots of hunters around. So your idea of alerting people makes me wonder if maybe she was trying to alert someone to something happening, if it was a fight. But again, it could have just been a storm.
Yeah, but I mean, the spell, it carries, that sound goes a long distance, like really. Um, and you wouldn't know if she and your father had any kind of signal between them, that might have been a signal to call him if she
No,
needed help.
I really wouldn't know.
Is your father still alive?
Well, assuming he survives the hunt everyone went on, yes.
Maybe you could ask him about it now that you know.
Maybe, yeah.
But if it upsets you, and I understand that there's other things I can do, it's not a problem at all.
I appreciate your kindness about that. I've been afraid of thunder most of my life. Awful for someone who likes to be on the sea so much.
But I'll try to use something different, and I'll think about what I could use instead, and then maybe if you talk to your father and found out more about what happened and things, maybe it would help, calm your mind, and you wouldn't have that fear anymore. Maybe we could work through that.
Maybe.
I don't suppose you would remember if it sounded similar to when I cast the spell, the thunder you heard that night. That would probably be a long time ago.
It was a very long time ago, and I don't know, at this point I've heard so many thunderstorms, it probably all blends together at this point. But, you know, my father and I don't have the best relationships, but we're not estranged or anything, so I can't ask him if we make it back to... if he makes it back.
He'll make it back. I'm sure he will.
Definitely be something I'll check into once we finish here with this mission. How that...
I'll even come with you if you'd like. I'd
that
be
would be
happy
wonderful.
to do that.
Also, speaking of family, I don't know about you, but I feel a little gypped after watching that other Ganassi do all those amazing things. He created that whole cave and made that all that stuff appear, and can you do stuff like that?
Do you think he was a Ganassi, though? I thought he was maybe at first, but now I'm not so sure.
I mean, the genie did say it was his father.
Yeah. But, I mean, maybe he was a genie too. Or, you know, I mean, he was doing... I certainly can't do anything like that yet.
I just thought maybe it was because he was closer to the source of
he
the genie.
Definitely was not a Ganassi.
Okay. She assumed, so...
Yeah, Pearl did too originally, and then as she saw more and more happening, she was getting this feeling that, you know, none of this seemed to be anything that she had any inkling she would ever be able to do.
Shax was a twisted amalgamation of a fey creature and a genie.
I mean, I kind of assumed that was, but as the character assumed it was a Ganassi. Though she assumed it was because he was more closely related, because she's a few generations away from the Jin and her family.
And how he was able to move through the earth and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Ganassi.
Like, my father was actually a genie, and my mother, of course, was a gnome. So I'm fairly, you know, not that far removed, but I mean, I certainly... I have nothing like that, but I've also really not spoken to my father at all to find out what I might be able to do.
Maybe he wasn't a Ganassi then, because, you know, I don't know how far removed I am. My father was a Ganassi, and I've never really asked if his father was a genie, or if it was another Ganassi.
I can do a neat trick, though. Watch this. And she takes a picture of... like, she takes her water skin out, and she pours the water, and just a second here, wrong thing. And she basically turns the water into like looking like a little fish shape, and then has it kind of swimming a little bit, and it will stay like that for an hour, so she leaves this little water fish swimming.
That is way cooler than anything I can do. Best I have is I can zap you. And she'll wave her little fingers around.
and then she, after the fish has done a little bit of swimming, she reaches out again and she freezes the fish. So now it's like an ice fish. And it sort of falls with a thunk.
That could be handy.
So while this dinner time conversation is going on, those of you who are in, like, who are sitting out underneath the coming night sky begin to see faint wisps of like a pale green light sort of trailing off from various locations out in the grasslands and converging into a central location. And this location seems to be getting closer to the ring forts, as if it were traveling. And every now and then another like wisp of green light will be pulled from something to this location.
Why do I feel like it'd be karma coming to bite our ass back this time?
Gods, I hope not.
Well, either way,
it could just be some pretty lights.
here's hoping you're right, Shara, but let's be real with our luck.
I don't know. I think my luck has been pretty damn good today.
Aye, but the day be not over.
Except for the jellyfish thing.
That too.
But we did get away.
For now. Rojan? Little question.
Okay.
Remember how Shanks gave Cannonball that golden leaf thing? To call upon him?
Yes.
Has that leaf disappeared or disintegrated, or is it still very well present within the massive tentacles on my head?
It is still in your position. So as a few moments pass, you begin to see a figure walking down the road towards your newly founded fort. Every now and then, just another wisp of green light being pulled off from somewhere in the grasslands into this strange looking crooked staff. Seems to be about a good 6 feet long. At the end, there's just this strange gnarl carving of an antler, not an antler, but an antelope skull, and hanging from the mouth of the skull is this bronze censer, and this is where these light wisps are being pulled into.
That definitely does not be looking good.
The figure itself is completely covered in these large, like these just very large flowing off golden robes, like these red, just red embroidery going down from each shoulder all the way down to the length of the robes to the feet. Its face is completely covered in a solid gold death mask.
Is there any way, shape, or form that I could potentially do some form of roll to see if I recognize either the robes, the death mask, or anything occult to that level?
You can give me a history or a religion check. And while you're doing that, the entity's face is completely wrapped as well. They're giving no hint as to what it may be underneath. Your only hint as it gets to the gates, as you stand there and you're watching it, is the hand is covered in fur, almost like a claw clutching the staff.
Huh. Okay. Well, that was a 13.
A 13? You can't necessarily put your finger on it. Like, you've heard tales of strange looking creatures traversing the Tricorn, but not anything that necessarily meets this thing's description. As they get to the entrance of the fort, do not eat my mouse wire. You notice that it takes the staff in both hands and just slightly taps it twice on the wooden planked walkway. And as it does, a soft chime goes out and the beach behind you lights up as hundreds of these wisps are pulled from the sands into the brass censer hanging from its staff. As they pass through the camp, you can hear faint whispers of people. Just faint,
Somebody be collecting the souls of death.
faint voices that are just very suddenly snuffed out as they're pulled inside the censer.
Is this figure now close enough that, like, if we spoke at a normal tone, it would likely be able to hear us? Or
if you were to call out to it from where you're at, yes, it would definitely be able to hear you.
Not necessarily call out to it yet, but staying in her relaxed position, Chara is just kind of like gonna wave at it, like maybe give it a, come here type of thing.
As you kind of motion for it to advance, there's a very strange looking distortion to its body as it just jaunts right in front of you, stopping maybe about a foot.
That's surprising. Hey, friend, want to have a seat? It's getting pretty late. We've got plenty of food here if you need a meal.
It kind of just like looks at you and just walks by you and continues on into the camps, slowly just like looking over everyone before it stops, and it just turns and looks at Cannonball and begins to walk closer to him.
Where am I?
Friend of yours?
Not sure, matey. But on the flip side, you and I know how things be. Only one way to find out.
And as that is being said, Cannonball will walk up to the figure.
And it stops like right as you almost get like chest to chest, and it reaches out and just slowly places its like clawed hand on your chest. And nods and pulls its hand away. Forgive me. I'm not used to seeing those who are, how do mortals put it, half dead. I
prefer the term incomplete.
Indeed you are incomplete. I had to make sure you were not one of the undead and in need of disposal.
No, still quite alive, may I say.
Well, that is good. Tell me, are you the ones who did away with the lizard men?
Indirectly, you could say that, yes.
I see. Well, that will be one less stop on my travels. I assume that none of you are thinking of picking up their practice.
Nay, matey, I quite hate that type of, as ye call it, practice.
What, like ring fighting? Because I do like a good fight.
There was less ring fighting and more blatant execution.
No, I don't think that's on our horizon anytime soon.
Sad.
Wanton destruction serves no purpose.
I very much did enjoy the walk up here. The view is always so nice.
But, I mean, we kind of own this place now, so, like, if, you don't mean us any harm or anything, just, like, stop by or whatever.
Shakes your head.
Sounds like you're here often.
There is no harm to be done to any of you. You are still living.
What's that
That's the
supposed
way
to
I
mean?
like it.
It means that I have no interest in you at the moment. I am a death speaker. I make my way across these isles, taking the souls of those who were unfortunate enough to depart the mortal coil alone, unknowing where to go. I shepherd them to the next phase of the afterlife.
You can see Cannonball looks visibly relieved for half a sec.
So, are you looking for the bodies or the spirits of the lizard folk that lived here?
And he kind of reaches up and just like tinks the censure on his staff. They are in here, though it was interesting. I began to find their bodies a couple miles outside of this fort. Haven't found any around here. Mostly,
Yeah, sorry about that.
most of what I just absorbed were the unfortunate souls that were disposed of at the beach.
It wasn't our doing, actually. The lizard folk rather brought the whole thing upon themselves, unfortunately.
How they died is of no concern to me. They are dead, and thus they will be delivered to the next portion of their afterlife.
And can you call these spirits by name?
I do not know their names, nor do I care to know their names. For me, they are simply passengers.
So you wouldn't know if you had a particular soul or spirit with you?
Not necessarily. I do have the information of all current passengers in my censure, but it is not information I care to learn.
We're sort of pondering over our meal here what might have become of the one that was called Shanks.
Shanks. Don't think I've come across the Shanks yet.
Pearl looks at Cannonball.
What is a Shanks?
Well, let's just say the whiskey you would have collected would have been a lot bigger than these small ones. And it supposedly died earlier today, but I have my own doubts about that. He looks at Pearl.
An entity of power.
I
would have
one
not
capable of granting wishes.
I would have not collected one of those. Those entities seem to shift off on their own, or completely fade out of existence, depending on the entity we're speaking of. No, I collect mortal souls.
Well, there is the possibility it may have survived. Don't ask me how I know.
Well, Jenka was right to offer you hospitality. Is there anything we can get for you?
No, I must be on my way. There are much more souls to collect here. So he kind of like looks over to in the direction of like the destroyed forest. I have many a souls to collect there, and then he like looks out to the north, and points out into the distance. Apparently an entire city was recently destroyed out there as well. So I must make my way there.
Is he pointing like in the direction of the ruins at all?
He has not pointed in the direction of the ruins, but he's pointing in the direction of Echo Bay.
Ah, yeah. Okay, I'll do it. Jenka will look at them and go, are you familiar with this island at all? Since it sounds like you've been around here.
Oh, I've walked these islands since their creation.
That's fair considering what you just mentioned you were. If that's the case, do you know much about the ruins? Perhaps souls you have collected from there that are not far from here? And she'll point in the direction which they need to go.
He looks back and goes, I do not believe I've collected any souls from that region. I've walked the streets of the ruined city that is there before, but if there were any dead, they had not waited for me.
So a whole city or town has relocated then. No deaths.
Or no natural deaths.
No freed souls.
That's actually concerning.
I do
Good to
know
know.
there is one entity there. The last time I paid it a visit. But they were not dead at that time.
What does this entity look like? We have interest over there, and it's not good. It's the cause of the deaths over at Echo Bay.
It's been a while since I've been there. I believe you call it a satyr.
Satyr from the Feywild.
If that is where it is from. I didn't necessarily get its point of origin or where it was born. A satyr nonetheless, seemingly tending to the jungles around the city.
This might change everything. That's good to know. I appreciate it. I have Mr. Tumnus stuck in my head now. Living by himself out there with his little red scarf.
The little red scarf tending to the gardens.
Well, if it's not cold, maybe it's a red, like.
It's like a red sailor's beanie.
There you go.
Hey, so you like tend to all the dead people on the islands, right? What about the waters around these islands? Do you?
When I cross over them.
Okay, so I can't miss this opportunity. I gotta ask. I got a bet going with a buddy of mine back home about whether this is true or not. I think it's true. He thinks it doesn't, or thinks it isn't. Do you know anything about a story of a ghost ship in the waters west of Everton and Hasbro? Like between those islands and the storm? See, I heard that it was a ship that makes like a man of war look like a little dinghy, and it is crewed by just the damned ghosts, spirits, and it like emerges from a big cloud of mist, and you know it's coming when you hear a war horn coming from that mist, and by then it's too late to escape that thing. I think it's real. My friend doesn't. But if you know about the dead things around here, like surely you'd know about something like that, right?
I believe you are referring to what is known as the floating hell.
So it is real.
Very much so.
I knew it. He owes me 2 silver.
I love how there's relief. There's relief in the knowledge that a giant ghost man of war is out there that just like preys on ships out there, and Shar is just happy that she got 2 silver.
Yep.
So you bet a tankard of mead on this? Of course you would. Never mind.
A tankard of meat? Where are you getting your booze? No, that's like 4 tankards.
I drink higher quality. Never mind. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I can make quite a few tankards of meat with that.
I mean, I'll drink whatever you make.
Well, good. I need someone to test it out to make sure it's quality.
So,
At least drinkable.
you know of the ship, and the ship has souls or undead on it, right?
Spirits of the damned, not
Spirits of the damned. Okay. So do you have, and you know about the satyr, Do you travel the whole of the world? Like, have you been very, very far north?
I've been all over these parts. I don't believe there's a inch of the Tricorn I have not visited at one point or another.
You'll be on the storm, or you just stay within it.
My siblings take care of other parts of the world. This is what I was assigned to.
Okay. Have you ever heard of a druid? Possibly kind of a bit of a powerful druid now, maybe. That went by the name of Vanfer?
The name does not seem familiar to me, but as I said, I have no interest in names of the living nor dead.
Well, that's where it gets interesting, because Vanfer was my mentor, and I heard a rumor, just as Shara heard a rumor, that he had been taken very, very far north and abandoned on a remote island. But he was also tied up. So my thought is that by now he's quite possibly dead. And so I was wondering if perhaps you were aware of him.
Maybe, maybe not. As I did say, I have no interest in the names or lives of the living nor the dead. I simply collect the souls and take them to where they need to go.
But so, okay, I thought perhaps because theoretically my thought was that if he was the only one, a lone soul on a remote place, that it might have stuck in your memory.
It is sad, but I have come across many alone souls stuck on islands out in the oceans. It is more a common occurrence than you'd think.
Well, yes, that's true. I mean, there's always shipwrecks, aren't there? And lone survivors who float to shore hoping for mercy and succumb there rather than drowning with their comrades. None of it's pleasant.
Death rarely is to the living.
But you do very valuable service.
The order of things must be maintained. Life must live, death must die.
Cannonball looks uncomfortable at that. Extremely uncomfortable.
You see Jenka is not satisfied with that answer at all.
But as there are no lingering souls amongst here anymore, I must be on my way. There are, and he kind of looks over to the destroyed jungle. Many who need shepherding tonight.
Before you go, I just have one final question. I know what you do, so it might be impossible. I might already know the answer, but if you ferry the souls, can you contact any of them? Or once they've been ferried over, that's it?
My job is simply to ferry, not to speak to them. You would have to speak. You would have to find another one of my siblings to do that.
How many siblings do you have?
We are countless. We are infinite. There are as many of us that are needed.
Well, there's a lot of death, so understandable.
On this plane and others, on this world and others.
It's an interesting thought. Oh, thank you for not killing us.
I have no need to kill you. Life will do that for me.
It's so poetically true. That was
He's
like
not
one
wrong.
of the most beautiful. That was the most beautiful lines, and so painfully true.
Well, let's just hope we don't meet again for many, many years. No offense.
None taken.
Looks like Hannibal and the necklace he has.
I will shepherd you when your times come. No sooner, no later.
Well, till we meet again then.
Until
Please
we do.
take no offense to this, matey, but if I meet ye again, it'll be too soon.
You'd be surprised how many times I get that from mortals. You don't have to worry. He's like, you don't have to worry about
They
me.
charge by the pound of hair cut off or whatever. It's like that one joke they hear all the time.
198.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I had a silver for every time someone said that, I'd be the richest alive.
He shakes his head. He's like, you don't have to look out for me. I am simply a shepherd. I am not death.
Shepherd.
Shepherd.
Right.
Now, if you all excuse me, there's more dead that need to be sorted. And kind of like turns and looks out into like the distance, and again there's just like that strange disfiguration of his body as he jaunts out into like the grassland again and just begins walking, and every now and then another wisp is pulled out from the grasslands and into the censure as he just begins walking towards the forest or the
It was
jungle.
nice meeting you. Be safe.
And to answer your question, Fox, yes, he is one of them.
I was getting those vibes, man. I was getting them.
As soon as he said it, I was like, oh my god, he's right. Yeah, let's try not to cause any more incidents that cause that guy to come around.
I mean, he seemed nice.
So you're just not going to kill anything else?
No, just not kill mass of anything else. You know, whole cities, whole forests, whole forts.
Like you need to talk to him thinking that he has a question for you. Just go out and just like kill a bunch of things.
Yeah. Wait for him to show up.
But he begins to just, oh.
So it's getting pretty late. Barring any other weird dudes just like manifesting in front of us, do you think we should maybe organize some watches in case some weird jellyfish crawl up from the beach?
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Definitely,
yeah.
yes.
I am not
Absolutely.
sleeping comfortably. I mean, I'm probably not going to sleep comfortably anyway, knowing this, but if we at least had someone watching, that would be great.
I love how everybody has a fear of this jellyfish just coming up out of the, like this giant, like tentacruel looking jellyfish just walking out onto the beach and just like starting causing ultimate havoc.
Thanks to HB Fox, we've now associated him with octopi, which just, squirm into everything.
Tentacruel is probably the best thing to describe it.
But Pearl is beyond, like, because she didn't really identify it herself, and she's going on what Shara said, and she's in the back of her mind, she's still thinking it's a Kraken, and he doesn't want to tell me.
Do we want to try to do Watchers of 2, just so that we can ensure that nothing goes awry?
It's probably a good call, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I'm a short napper, so if you guys want, I don't mind taking the first watch if you need to. I don't need much to sleep.
Well, if you're gonna take first watch, I'll take it with you. So You know, I don't get woken up in the middle of my sleep to take a watch.
So we don't get Grumpy Shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grumpy Shark.
No. No.
She's also taking watch with Jenka because she knows Jenka is responsible, so she can maybe just slack off a bit.
Fair. I don't mind taking the second watch.
I'll watch with Echo.
And I guess that leaves Muir and Cannonball for a watch.
Yep.
All right. So, first watch.
I love how the two muted people were both like, "Yep."
Yep.
Yep.
Listen, we know what we're doing.
Oh,
It's
I
fine.
heard. I know what's going on. We're on watch together. Last watch is already
It was still funny.
Okay.
You've been assigned.
So,
Safe. It's fine.
Jenka and Shara, can you both give me checks for your watches?
Would you like us to choose a specific skill, or are we just going with perception or something? For this?
We're just doing perception.
Perception? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perception's decent. That's fucked.
Because I don't think anybody's going to leave the safety of the fort to go out and do watches.
No.
Yeah. 17.
I also rolled a 17.
Nice. Where are my percentiles?
Hiding.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Your night goes, your watch goes pretty much without any sort of incident. Though nearing the end of it, you do notice just this bright flash. Thank you, Fox. Gives off a bright flash of light as you just see just this massive greenish white light just being pulled into one central location, and it's just completely dark.
That's creepy.
Yeah, a lot of weird shit happens out here at night, eh?
I totally loving our new base.
And you kind of get
great things here. A lot of great things.
You kind of get the feeling that the shepherd had reached the jungle and just pulled everything into the censure. There was just a very large amount of loss of life there.
An entire giant clan?
Oh, it wasn't just the giant clan. There were other clans and whatnot there.
We just didn't know.
You know, we didn't kill them directly, right? Right.
Because if you remember your discussion with Mama Plum, there's an open gateway to the Feywild there, or to the Fey realms.
Hence the satyr.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now that gate is less hidden, as there's nothing shielding it. It's just out in the open.
Yeah. This will not have consequences whatsoever.
So Jenka kind of looks over in that direction, kind of looks back at Shara and goes, "This is gonna sound really weird. I want to go there."
What do you think is over there?
There's a lot of Fey things in here, especially that satyr. I have some questions. I have a very big interest in going back to the Feywild.
Yeah, I don't know. The last thing that I encountered from the Feywild convinced me to pull a thing out of a box that was like potentially world ending, but turned out not to be.
Yeah, Fey are kind of fucked up like that. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I mean, Mir seems okay, but I don't know the rest. He might just be like hiding it from us.
I mean, this is nothing on Mir, but Fey are usually shifty little bastards. So, you know. Who knows? But
yeah,
I mean, good things with them too. They're very protective.
A lot of people are kind of shifty little bastards, so.
That's also fair. Yeah. But, weird thing to say, but there's a lot of good fae out there. And by good, I mean not shifty bastards. As long as you find the ones that like to protect their own, and they see you as family.
So, like, do you want to go to the Feywild, or do you just want to go over there and look at what's showing up?
Oh, I've spent a lot of time in the Feywild. I'm familiar with certain locations there.
But, like, do you want to go back?
Actually, yes. But not until I finish up some business here. I would actually like to go back and stay there.
Like, live there permanently?
Yeah.
I was concerned for a moment this was going to be disregard campaign playing Feywild.
Yes.
Because, I know a painting that we can just hop through. We're good.
Well, remember how I said I wanted the painting? Now you know. If you guys just cover it up, it's fine. Right?
That's what we're told, but I have my doubts.
I mean...
It's like closing a Stargate.
That thing opened
Nothing
itself.
ever happened.
That thing opened itself so many times.
Nothing ever bad came from Stargate.
Nothing ever bad happens if you try to teleport it through a Stargate if it's closed on the other side.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's some really fun things over there. Believe it or not, there's a whole slew of islands dedicated to piracy.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some stories. I don't know if any of them were true, but
What kind of stories?
Just stories about how they like to party all the time over there and drink all the time.
I mean, not every island, but yeah.
Yeah, like not just the islands either. Like I've heard of like endless woods.
Oh, you mean the Fae in general?
Yeah,
Oh, you know
yeah,
the
like
Fae. Oh, yeah. No,
it's
that's
everything over anywhere you go, you can probably find a party.
Well, that's why they're shifty little bastards, because they look like they're always in a drunken state of just frat house.
And I feel like half of them probably are actually in that state.
Yeah.
You now know I have to make a fraternity of like fairy frat bros now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Omega Fae. Yes, you do. If we go to the Feywild, you have to now. We're going to a frat party.
We're going to Feywild just for the frat party.
That sounds like a Strixhaven like side quest.
Oh my god, yes.
The group just ends up in a Feywild rager.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's just not the Pirate Isles. There's a lot of things in there that I really, really love. I mean, obviously I haven't been everywhere in the Feywild. It's way too freaking massive, but there's been a lot of really fun places there that I've been to. And I would love to go back at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
after I finish up here.
I've heard that our world is, just as massive. We just can't get past the storm to actually find out. So.
Yeah.
Hey, do you think you could go into the Feywild and then travel a big distance and then pop out of the Feywild and you'd come back here on the other side of the storm?
Well, that's the funny thing about the Feywild is if you know who you're talking to and has the ability to open up planes, you can actually pinpoint where you want to go. But if you're just wandering around aimlessly, it just pops you out at random. So there's no guarantee. I just go to the dedicated ones here because at least I know I pop out here.
You think
islands?
Maybe if, say we had that painting and you went through the painting and then I threw the painting really, really hard, and it like got to the other side of the storm, you could then come out of the painting and be on the other side of the storm.
We don't know how the deep the storm goes, though.
Yeah, no, we have no idea.
Plus, you know all the horrible, horrible stories of shit we've heard that are on the edge of the storm, right?
Oh, yes.
So, just hypothetically, if we survive that, you would chuck me in hope to the gods that I make it out to the other side, so I land in the water.
Well, I mean, like, you'd be in the painting, and I'd throw the painting. And, you know, you could, like, throw it in such a way that it, like, spins and kind of, like, glides through the air. And then,
It's okay, I can breathe underwater anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's also that.
Yeah. But I don't know what's on the other side. Well, there's more awful, awful shit. Well, no, now I just got 8.
You know, that's a thought that I hadn't really considered. What if the storm isn't keeping us in here, but keeping something horrible out?
Then why is there horrible shit on the other side?
Because the world is a horrible place.
That's fair, 100%. We can agree on that, yes.
But, like, there could be more horrible stuff on the other side of the storm, and it's protecting us.
You know, Shara, you're not as unintelligent as you come off to be.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's weird to say I haven't had a conversation like this in a long while is all.
I'm a great conversationalist.
Yes, you are. So I can't give you a straight that delivery. Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. She's gonna take out a flask and just kind of take a swig of some rum and pass it over to Shara.
And she'll take a respectable swig. She'll leave some in the flask afterwards.
Thank you.
I feel called out.
Well, here's to horrible jellyfish not eating our faces off in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that'd be great. Or, you know, if they do, maybe I'll just sleep through it.
Hey, at least we know a guy not too far that will help us. Well,
True.
ferry us. That's not an uncomfortable thought.
I try not to think about it.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna look at Walk to the Ocean for a bit. I think that just made me weird. Okay, I'm just gonna watch. Shift back to watching.
Okay, and your shift after all that, like the conversation and what you noticed out in the distance happens, your shift ends. Moving on to second shift with Pearl and Echo. I can get perception rolls from each of you.
Mine's a 25.
At least one of us is paying attention.
What'd you get?
My dice don't like me today. It was another natural one. For total 7.
At least you have a good modifier.
So.
It feels like getting my faces eat by jellyfish.
There's a moment where you and Pearl are taking watch. When you notice that everything goes quiet. Eerily quiet, as if there is now no sound anywhere. Not even the roll of the waves from the beach can be heard. And then you notice out in the distance. Well, Pearl would notice this out in the distance as Echo is off in her own world. But there's a slow hum begins to fill the area. Miss Pearl, as you look out to the west towards where the central part of the water would be located, in between the islands, you begin to see this soft pulsing light beginning to grow out in the distance. And there is just one massive tentacle that reaches up about 100 feet into the air for a brief moment. And a singular eye opens up at the tip and just begins scanning the area. And then it quickly looks in your direction.
How far away would this be?
This is miles away. Like it's
I can still see all this.
Yeah, it's like dead center, and you can still see it. And you are frozen in fear as it's looking at you. And you can feel it peering into your mind. And you just hear, "Not yet." The eye closes and the tentacle quickly pulls down into it. And that is where we are going to end for this week.
Yeah, creepy.
Yeah, that was creepy.
That's great. I'm
Love
excited
it.
for next week.
I'm concerned.
Spooky, scary tentacles.
And yet, Pearl's the only one that saw it.
Yep,
Okay,
Pearl is
so
the only one.
Pearl is
This
still
is-
the only one that sees shit with this thing because everyone else just sucks at their perception every time.
So yet again, Pearl's
just
going to
thinks
be
Pearl's
regaling
crazy.
us with like a story of the scary tentacle.
And
Yeah,
every-
well,
like
Pearl,
how? What is this
jellyfish.
doing for my credibility? Truly.
It's like, yeah,
Yes, we
yeah.
know there's a jellyfish out there.
Right,
we
Pearl,
know. It's okay,
right.
Pearl.
Pearl, we understand that you think everything's a kraken. It's not a kraken.
Everything's a kraken, Pearl.
Just because it has tentacles doesn't make it a kraken.
And now it really is a problem. It's like, oh, that's
Finally happens, we're all gonna be like, oh shit, she was telling the truth.
See, I don't cry wolf. I cry kraken.
Cry with a K.
Unfortunately, the Kraken only appears when nobody else is looking.
Clearly.
But that is going to do it for us tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow with another episode of Destiny Forged. Picking that I'm not gonna say trash fire. But
It might be.
it might be. But kicking that off again as everyone is ready and raring to go for that. And then we will be on Saturday will be another episode of Wayward Wanderers, which is our Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse game run by Azerin. Then we will be back here on Monday for it's another episode of Tricorn, right? Yeah, so another episode of Tricorn Isles. Tuesday will be the next Tuesday will be another episode of Destiny Forged, and then the following week on the 19th, we will be having another episode of Withered Waste, but it is also taking place on Extra Life's official tabletop game day, so I'm planning something special for that. Still in the works, but there will be something special happening on that episode. So I'll announce that. I'll probably announce that in like the upcoming days as to what it's going to be. But for now, we are going to head on out. If this is your first time here, we do have all of our shows over on our YouTube channel. All of our campaigns, our past one-shots, our past holiday episodes, everything is over there. And we are getting back into the flow of things, getting the campaigns and the games and everything running at a weekly schedule again. But for now, we're going to head on out. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow. you.